I can't do that. Each?
I agree.
They're be bankrupt.
I want some paid sponsorship.
First of all. Okay, we're live now.
I mean, a date then. Some other endeavours. You get what I'm saying?
Endeavours.
Money for run.
Listen. All right. Good morning, people. It is Thursday, the 20th of April. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favourite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. And we're just going to go ahead and introduce ourselves.
It's your boy, Big Mouse from the East Side. Happy morning, people.
Happy morning. It is your favourite Shea Queen, my royalty.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer, news analyst, melanin jam-packed.
Love it. How's everyone? Oh, my hair's stuck. How's everyone doing today?
We all right, man. We good?
Yeah.
Fresh, ready for the world? You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay, thanks.
Don't forget, tomorrow we're going through power and Snowfall.
Okay.
I'm going to a funeral tomorrow.
What time? What time?
I'm not sure.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Hmm?
You don't understand?
He doesn't watch either anyway.
You don't know when the person's being buried?
It's in the afternoon.
All right.
But I need to get my mind right.
Put me in a somber mood.
Yeah.
Power will get you there, though. We're also having a funeral. Power, so
Oh.
it will get you there.
And we're doing a recap of the best bits of last year.
Of TDA, by the way.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
of last year, like you guys' general life.
Sorry.
Of TDA.
So you'll have to call in and whatnot, innit?
Let us know your favourite moments and all that.
There's been a few in the community, you know.
So far, it's funny.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
We'll custom it. I'll go and check the community and check there. But yeah, man. Should be good. It should be a good show tomorrow. Everyone back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Is Gina back in UK? I don't think she is.
Is she?
I don't think so. No. The person who will know is not answering. I don't know why he's. Like,
You know what I'm saying?
what the hell? Okay. Anyways, let's get into our first headlines.
All right, so our first headline, and this is again like a continuation of Rishi Sunak's recent situation in the news. And Rishi Sunak's link to a childcare company boosted by Jeremy Hunt's recent budget has been included in a new list of ministerial interests, but only as a footnote. The new register, updated for the first time in a year, contains a reference to the Koru Kids firm that Mr. Sunak's wife holds shares in. Mr. Sunak is under investigation by Parliament's sleaze watchdog over allegations of a possible failure to declare the shares held by his wife, which is Akhtar Murti. Under the section for relevant interests held by Ms. Murti, the new explanation is very similar to the 2022 list, explaining that she owns a venture capital investment company, but it adds that she has a number of direct shareholdings, and a footnote saying that she includes her minority shareholdings in Koru Kids. For those unaware, Koru Kids is one of 6 major private care agencies being consulted on a pilot scheme as part of the government's childcare overhaul. Next headline, again, there's more issues in the SNP in Scotland. So Colin Beattie has resigned as SNP treasurer after his arrest as part of a police investigation into the party's finances. He said he would also be stepping back from his role on the Public Audit Committee until the police investigation had concluded. The 71-year-old was taken into custody and released without charge on Tuesday. It came hours before First Minister Hamza Yousaf set out his government's priorities for the next 3 years. In a statement, Mr. Beattie said he had resigned as treasurer with immediate effect. He also said, on a personal level, this decision has not been easy, but it is the right decision to avoid further distraction to the important work being led by Hamza Yousaf to improve the SNP's governance and transparency. I will continue to cooperate fully with Police Scotland's inquiries, and it would be inappropriate for me to comment any further on a live case. And the last headline, some controversy in Germany, where the German president has drawn parallels between the brutal Nazi crackdown of the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising in 1943 and the Russian President Putin's full-scale invasion of Ukraine last year. Mr. Putin, this is what he's saying, has broken international law, challenged borders, and committed land grabs. More than 10,000 Jews were killed by the Nazis, during the Ghetto Uprising. But Mr. Steinmeier asked for forgiveness for the crimes Germany had committed. The Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, one of World War II's most remarkable acts of defiance, began exactly 80 years ago as a response to Nazi efforts to send the remaining Jewish population in the Polish capital to death camps. Hundreds of young Jewish men, armed only with pistols, machine guns and grenades, withheld the onslaught of German troops for 3 weeks. About 13,000 Jews were killed, many of them burnt alive or suffocated after the Nazis burned the ghetto block by block. But of the 50,000 residents, almost all were captured and sent to the death camps. And that's it for the headlines.
Thank you. Let's get into the topic of the day.
All right, people. So today's topic of the day is going to be, well, I'm assuming it's going to be a short one anyway, and but a light-hearted one. And this is a kind of, I guess, a little delve into a topic that Esther brought up yesterday on Word and Road. And this is about the great rapper that is Chance the Rapper.
The great. Name me 5 great Chance the Rapper songs. The great.
No, but to be fair to him though, yeah, his first 2 or 3 projects were solid, you know.
Yeah.
Solid projects.
But he who cared. To be fair, let me not be silly. I did hear good things about it, but I did try to give it a listen. So boring.
He's a very good rapper though. He's very skilled. Very skilled.
Yeah, but
he's definitely one of those that you have to kind of like his style.
Yeah, I did not like the style, so I just said, yeah, this is not for me.
Well, Chance the Rapper, like you said yesterday, has been referred to as Chance the Dancer.
I said Chance the married rapper, but yeah. Brent said Chance the Dancer.
Well, he's been out there enjoying himself, man. So, Brent, if you don't mind, to refresh the people with a video clip.
The bomb smack is what's sending me.
I shouldn't really play this music. Copyright.
Okay. Well, as you can see, guys, Chance the Rapper is enjoying himself. But the argument is, though, and Mark said this yesterday as well, is he not just embracing Caribbean culture?
That's what it looks like to me. Looks like he's embracing something.
He's embracing a whole lot of something.
Yeah, because obviously the Caribbeans have to talk in it, because I don't know about this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
As Africans, we're very wholesome, and
It's funny that stuff's going around and from like people in the comments and stuff like that. You could proper tell who's Caribbean and who's not.
yep.
Because everybody's getting their knickers in a twist over it.
do you know
And
what
all
it
the
is?
Caribbean people are like... What kind of foolishness is he not talking about? What? Because man's holding no wine.
Do you know what?
He's done
Holding
it
a
in
wine-
public, you know.
No, but holding a wine is what it is. You didn't. Is slapping someone's bump out holding the wine?
Could well be, yeah. But what I'm saying is, that's a married man.
You're so annoying.
Huh?
That could well be.
No, it could.
You see her eyes at the end. Look at her eyes at the end. Look at her eyes. Watch.
Oh, she rolled her eyes. Oh, it was dead. Oh, that's worse.
Yeah, that's not why she wrote that.
That's why she rolled her eyes. She didn't feel nothing. We can't see nothing.
But remember, he's a married man. This ain't something he's done in secret. He's a public figure. He's there in public. There's cameras there on him. He's dancing in it. So he clearly feels like he hasn't done anything wrong. He surely should know his partner to know that clearly it's not a sackable offence. You get me? Or it would be hiding in it. So it's just like everybody just I don't know. Everybody's just creating a fuss for no reason.
So, is that a wine?
Exactly. First of
Why?
all,
What is it?
I'm asking you, is that a wine? That looks like a little Jamaican dagger, no?
Wine and dagger, it's all the same thing.
Yeah?
Yeah, dagger and wine and what's it matter?
Oh, it's the same thing?
To me, it's all dancing, isn't it? If your girl's getting daggered by a man in a dance, then you might not be too impressed. And I hear that. You get me? But as the daggery or the dagger, what is he? Is he the daggery or the
he's a
dagger?
dagger.
The dagger.
The girl's
The
a
dagger.
daggery.
Okay, cool. As the dagger, he'll be all right. Maybe if you see your gal getting daggered, you might not be too impressed. Granted, you know what I'm trying to say.
Granted.
No, but it's just dancing, really.
Yeah. See,
People dance with each other, yeah, in clubs, especially in carnival. Dance to each other and have no form of interaction. Never speak to each other. Never see each other again.
true.
Someone's walking this way, someone else is walking that way. They meet in the middle, wine, and go about their business. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, is this worth any headache? Really? Is it?
You can tilt your head all you like. It is in my household. You can't be doing that. Because first of all, yeah, you're not even from the culture, so I don't know what you're embracing so fully. For me, it's the smacking of the bum. I don't think like. Do you know how wild that is?
Is it the hips or the bum?
It's the bum. It's the bum. Nah.
You think it's the hips, Emmanuel?
It's a bit of hippie. It's a bit hip. It's not really, you know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, like, I understand that that's obviously the culture, and that's it. Like I understand that that's the culture. It's not part of the culture I embrace. I embrace the food side of things, but for me personally, I would not be comfortable if that was my partner doing that.
That's why the way you sell relationships and stuff, they're not very appealing, is it?
No, but it's not bondage though.
I'm just saying, if we can't even have a dance, then
you
I don't even
though.
know why I want to engage, why I want to go.
No, but you can. I feel like if you married a Caribbean woman, she'd be fine with that. I'm not Caribbean. I'm African. I'm Nigerian. That's not part. That's not my culture. So I'm not going to understand that.
I think that's
why
one
you
of the
need to be
main
equally
things.
yoked. Yeah, that's it. Because if you married a Caribbean woman, you had a Caribbean wife, she would not care about that. So your marriage is bliss. She's not going to care. But in my Nigerian households, we don't do that. So I'm going to need to understand what spirit came over you to think that you can be doing that.
I think you do have Caribbean women who wouldn't be cool with that, to be honest.
I was trying to help the guy because, he was saying I wasn't really selling marriage to him. So I just thought maybe Caribbean women would love it with you.
I mean, there's gonna be women from, it doesn't matter where they're from,
Yeah.
that are just jealous, innit? You get me?
Is it jealousy? I hate when people do that, I hate when you say you've got an issue with something. Someone like, oh, you're insecure.
It is insecurities and
No, it's not.
jealousies. It is,
It's
because
not
at the end of the day,
insecurity.
I'm just having a dance, isn't it? Like, so it is insecurities and jealousy. Like, if we don't know the ins and outs of their relationship, we don't know what he's done for her. We don't know, like, this guy could be her biggest rock in the world, and now we're questioning whether this is even a solid marriage because a man held her one dance.
Who's
So it's
questioned
like,
it? It's just a solid marriage.
people are talking nonsense. Like, people are talking all types of nonsense over the dance, and it's like,
So I assume then that you wouldn't mind your girl doing that then?
well, if my gal went to one of them carnivals, if my girl went to that one of them carnivals and she was dressed up like that bird,
Yeah.
that he was dancing with, she's probably getting wind up all day.
So you don't mind that?
No, if I
that's
didn't mind, if I let her go to that carnival like that in the first place, why am I policing the situation for? No,
That's good.
she's gonna be going there. They're gonna be dancing. They're gonna be dancing all day. She more than likely is gonna hold a wine. She might hold a wine from a policeman if it's in Notting Hill. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, who cares?
That's good.
Well, that she held a wine from someone on carnival that she don't even know, that she never seen, that she's never gonna speak to again. Never. No, who cares? No one don't care.
That's lovely.
Do you see it as the same as being in the club? Because obviously in the club sometimes you might wine with someone like this, and be wiring with the whole night. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe, you know what I'm saying? But here, as quick as Chance the Rapper did his dance, he went off.
Yeah, for me, there's no reason why any woman should be twerking on you, whining on you, anything like that. I don't care wherever the setting is, barbecue, someone's garden, Vegas, carnival, church. I don't care where you are. There's no reason for any woman to be whining on you and twerking on you. I'm not wired that way. Because I wouldn't do that on any man.
That's why they got to leave me alone, because I don't care. If I'm going to want to dance, I would dance. I don't care.
Yeah, but that's the thing, that you're going to be equally yoked to your partner. She's going to be dancing around the place too. You guys are going to be dancing. You're going to be dancing people.
If music comes
dancing
on,
couple.
If music comes on and you give someone a wine, what's the big deal?
No, but this is it though. The thing, I'm not fighting you on this. I'm not fighting you on this. Your opinions and your stance means nothing to me.
You know how much
Because
gal I've
I'm not
wine?
gonna be with a guy like that.
You know how much
Get me
gal
to
I've
this
wine
man.
up, never seen again
is
in my
it.
life.
And this is great.
Fuck, what is it?
Because
Call
you know
up the
what's
show,
mad?
man. Call up, man.
Because
What's going on here,
Because you know
man?
how life is so great for you. Your girl is also gonna be sitting on somewhere else talking about, do you know how many guys I'm winding up, and it's gonna mean nothing for them.
Yeah, if you got a little dancer
And that's all
gal,
great.
and that's her story. She's the life of the party. She like dance up the place and thing and whatnot. Then
I think that's a beautiful union. I see.
I can see friends dancing. Again, it must be, I don't know, because when we're talking about culture, I don't know why African people are moving like they ain't got no culture, like they can't dance, so they don't like to celebrate.
But we don't
and
do
enjoy
that in
it,
my
like,
culture.
yeah.
We can't.
So
you
I don't
can't,
know. I see.
You can't be a woman.
I've danced with friends and that like that. It's just dancing. Like, it's
Yeah, but
just,
that's what I'm saying. But that's the thing. Culture is different. In African culture, I can't be married and be dancing on all up on men like that. That's a family meeting. That is wild. This is it about culture. This is what I'm saying. This is why I'm not like, I accept what you're saying, because my culture, I have not been raised for me to be able to normalize that. Do you get what I mean? In my culture, if you're married, you can't be dancing on men, period. Like, I'm not going to the club and whining on guys. And that's why I say that, again, it works because the way my stance is, the guys I date, they have the same stance. I'm not winding up on men when I've got the man that I have at home.
If I'm having there's like a family
It
party or
works.
something, I don't know, gathering or whatever, one of the members, someone's wife is dancing with somebody else, yeah? That's not cause for concern.
Yeah, that's
Like,
dancing. Though.
ever.
Again,
I mean,
it's
there's a
twerking
certain
and winding up on somebody.
yeah, there's a certain type of dancing that, and even if
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
no, but whining is not that. You could there's level, like, you can go hard if you want. You get what I'm trying to say? That so you can see someone turning up on someone, and you could think, yo, that's a bit
See, in my
excessive.
community, yeah.
How come you're like? Why did you go with that first? Like,
What made you go with that first?
you know what I'm trying to say? There's times when, yeah, of course that could be a thing, but for the most part, if they're just dancing, like, it's just.
There's nothing wrong with dancing. You can dance with anybody you want to dance to in
So
African culture.
you're saying it's the style of
But
dancing.
it's a style of dancing. Like, I'll be honest. Like, if I was at a family thing or whatever or any functional thing, and my man was just dancing with somebody.
Have you
I'm
heard
not having a heart
soca?
attack at
Have
that.
you heard soca?
I have.
before?
Yeah, of course. I have.
How's your man supposed to dance to soca innocently if you like?
Because my man doesn't listen to soca. My man listens to Afrobeats.
No, but
He
what
ain't
I'm
gonna
trying to
dance like that to Wizkid.
No, what I'm saying, if he was at
Wizkid's music does not warrant such moves.
no, but if he was at a carnival and it was going off, you get me, and there's dancing and he caught a wine, it's all fun and games and you get what I'm trying to say.
I want to ask a
Of
question.
course, I get what
I
you're
want to
saying.
ask a question.
Go on, bro.
Mags. Because I know when it is that we come to these types of topics, because of your disposition and the types of women that you basically find attractive and you kind of drawn to, it's not the type of women that, let's say, Manuel might be drawn to.
Yeah,
Right?
but I'm
Certain
not talking
things that
about a
you
type of
allow-
woman. I'm talking about dancing. This doesn't refer to a type of woman.
Let me set it up.
Go on then.
You know where I'm going. You're already itching to basically defend yourself, and that's fine.
I'm not. I just said
Let
it's
me
not.
finish,
It
let me
doesn't speak
finish.
to the type of woman that dancing. But go on.
Let me finish.
Go on. Go on.
God damn. Now, I think it's always good for me to put an example in front of you so you can answer that question, right? So, here's a scenario. You are with a girl. You don't believe in marriage, so it's just your girl. Everybody knows it's your girl, right? And you go carnival with your girl, right? And Loons spends 3 songs. 3 of the soca songs that you want everybody to be focusing on. 3 of them.
Don't do that.
Long soca songs.
No one does that.
Listen carefully.
No one does
I'm
that.
asking. I'm painting a scenario right
There's
now.
an unspoken rule. Why would he dance with a man's gal
All
for
right. So
3
where's your
songs?
threshold?
Huh?
Where's your
That's where you
threshold?
draw the line.
Well, like one.
Where's your line that you draw?
That's where you draw the line.
One. Why is he waiting for the next song for?
Where-
You are a comedian. You are a
Because
comedian.
You can't
Before-
hold it. I've been in the dance, yeah. We're old school, yeah. If you dance with a gal, yeah, you dance, you move on.
This
You
is
see that?
beautiful. Now you're telling me the etiquette for carnival, right?
No, it's not even carnival. I'm just talking about.
I now need the etiquette. Because
just
for
talking
some
about-
people, the
I'm
lines
just-
are different.
I'm just talking about being in the dance, yeah, because I'm old school, yeah. Like when we used to have before social media, like, it would just be numbers and that, yeah. You got to a gal, you dance with the gal, yeah. The gal might look back if she likes you, she'll keep dancing. Sometimes they have to wait till there's a break in the music so they can get the right light to see. So sometimes they'll allow the dance, but then when they get the break to look, they'll check. If it's not that, they'll slip off. You get what I'm trying to say? They'll give you the one dance, yeah. Usually,
Wait. I like this, right?
So go on.
So they look back to see if it is you are.
yeah,
All right,
if
cool.
you're nice, and then they'll slip off, yeah. And then usually, I don't know, the DJ might be doing some talkings or whatever. But if the dance got good to you, there'll be a bit where there might be a little bit of break in the music. If you just still want to dance, you'll stand up there with your hands on her hips,
Yes.
back on her waist,
Yes.
yeah. And if she wants to stay for that dance, she's gonna let you. She might even rest her hand there and wait for the dance again. When the next song comes in, you just go again. If you make it to 3 songs, yeah, you don't even need to talk. You just slip your phone around the front like that, yeah. You give them the phone, and then they take the phone, and then while they're winding up, they put their number in it. You get me? Winding up, put their number in it. They give it back to you. Everybody knows that's how it goes. So you got no business dance with a man's gal for 3, not even 2 songs. Like if it's something that happened naturally, it's a 1 song thing. You had the moment, you enjoyed it, you're gone. What's going on in that? Unless it was a transition and the mix was mad. You get me? If the mix was mad and caught everybody off guard, then all right, cool. Maybe 2 songs. You get me? But you shouldn't be dancing with the next man's gal for more than 1 song. Because it's all fun and games. Like, very, oh, look, like Esther come, boom, boom, boom. Oh, yeah, we had a little dance. It was fun. We go about our business. Why are you waiting for the next rhythm for? Like, that, again, you know
So
that.
one song and done, yeah?
Why is it?
Yeah.
But what's wrong with him staying for more 1+ songs?
What am I doing while he's waiting for these 3 songs?
The same thing I'm doing when my man is winding up and slapping up a girl's bum at carnival. Same thing I'm
What
doing.
the hell am I doing?
Same thing I'm doing
What
when
are
I'm
these
watching my
songs?
man.
Coming out like.
The same thing you said I was insecure, my insecure ass is doing while I'm watching my man winding up and slapping the girl's bum.
That's
Same
crazy.
thing.
I'd rather her wind 3 different man for 3 different rhythms. Like,
Don't you think that's a bit of insecurity though?
what the hell am I missing there? What's going on? Why? My
can't-
brethren too. Like, why?
Can't be
No,
allowing
them
them.
my brethren. Even if it was a stranger. If it was a stranger and I said, all right, cool, come now, let him hold the one wine, and he's got.
Yeah.
When I said the second song, Donnie ain't gone about his business. Yeah. What the hell's
But
going
don't
on?
you
there?
think she's a bit insecure? 'Cause
Why?
Yeah, but why? Why?
Because
why,
I
why
just
must he
explained to you.
move on?
I just explained to you the unspoken rules. You
No,
get
but
me?
why must he move on though?
Okay,
He
cool.
doesn't
So
wanna
what
move
we
on.
got? Then? So what? You might just stay with her for the whole night. You might as well just stay with her all night and dance with her all night. Then.
Yeah, but you don't mind though.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the way you've been talking. You said this is not a big deal. It is what it is. It's culture. Blah blah blah.
If you meet
It's an idea.
someone, yeah.
Yeah,
and
but
just-
maybe the wine is so good. I don't want to go.
If
I
you
don't
meet
want to go
someone and just
find
have a
out
random
elsewhere.
dance, that is different. Even if you go out to a club and you meet and you just have a dance with a girl, that's different. If you go to a dance and you find a girl and you stay with her all night and dance with her all night, yeah, that is intentional.
Yo, this for 3 minutes, 23 seconds is wild.
I don't know what song's playing. What soca and that, calypso and that.
Seconds.
That for 3 minutes, 23 seconds is wild.
Yeah, but they're gonna be doing that all day.
I'm talking about you and your scenario. You letting loons do that for 3 minutes and 23 seconds.
That's a whole track.
That same gyration.
I mean, I don't care.
I know.
I don't know what you want. It's just dancing.
But just one. You can't do it for 2 and 3. That's where
That's
it's
where
like,
you draw the line.
Nah.
Again,
Next one. You want the next man to come to you.
Yeah, next man. Yeah, because I don't understand.
Cycle.
Yeah, I don't understand why you're holding on for this wine for. I don't understand how you could be trying to get free rhythms. Like that dance is getting too good to you. Like, why would you be holding on for free rhythms? Like if this was the third song, yeah, that they've played, yeah, and you've caught them in the act, then I'll tell you he's going too hard. You get me? Because he's loving this too much. If this was just a quick passing thing or whatever, if you've caught the end of 3 songs sessions, yeah, he's too invested.
3 minutes. Watching my man wind up on a girl for 3 minutes and 23 seconds.
That's crazy though.
Mad. Do
But
you know,
it's-
do you know how slow time is gonna be?
Look at this arc of this wine. This is hump part of it, right? Because wines aren't normally like this. Look at that.
No, but in carnival,
3 minutes,
banging there.
23 seconds of that.
You need
You're
to,
looking for penetration at this point.
nah.
Listen,
You need to go drove it.
Stop saying Java.
You need to go. You need to go. You need to go. You need to go and see how people live. When people, everybody, like-minded individuals have gone there to go and turn
Juve.
up, dance. They're wearing all this. They're wearing all these kind of stuff. This is the whole point. They've gone there. It's a celebration of music, dancing, culture. Like this is what they've gone there to do. These guys are gonna go home being wined by 10,000 man. Don't mean nothing. Not a one Ross. Not a one Ross. These guys look forward to this stuff all year, to their costumes, want to go out. Yeah, maybe they are buff, want to show their bodies up and stuff. It's expression. So what? Who gives a shit? They're going to go there and dance all day. It doesn't mean anything.
I like how it is if you've done all that and then kept your eyes locked onto
What?
that wine. You're a professional.
Yeah, because I like the wine. I like the wine. I'm here for it. But I'm saying there's nothing in this. Even if you went around and done that with 50 girls that day.
All right, so I mentioned wine etiquette before, right? Because if it's culture, it's culture. We can't really look to project our insecurities onto this particular cultural practice, right? Cool,
Agreed.
we hear that. But what's the etiquette? When does it kind of blend over into nah, now it's violation?
I mean, like, I think you can tell. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, I think there's like body language, like
So keep your hands to yourself, are you saying?
maybe you just got to be aware of it. Where was it? I was somewhere the other day. I was at a baby shower the other day. We was there turning up. I'm dancing with my brethren.
I already told you that was not a baby shower.
Yeah,
If they
there
was whining
it
It was.
It was.
If
That
they
was
were
a
whining-
full-blown party. That
I
was
was
a
going for
club.
it. No, but I'm dancing with my brethren's gal. Live. On the dance floor.
How many songs?
There's probably one.
When you say you were
Maybe
dancing, were you whining?
We was dancing. It's bashment music. We was dancing. We weren't going too hard. But obviously, again, I'm mindful of. I'm not bringing out my crazy moves.
No, I wasn't there, so
You know what I'm trying to say?
I like,
I'm not
I like
bringing out
context.
the.
Yeah.
I
I'm
like
not bringing out the
context.
walkie dip.
I like context, right? Because right now,
Who?
No.
right now,
So they quit walking it.
right now we're talking about this, and we can see that image, right? So when
then
you're
I wasn't
saying-
dancing like that.
It's why it's important to give me details.
I wasn't dancing like that.
So how
no.
were you dancing?
It doesn't matter. The point is,
No, it does. It really
doesn't.
does because you're using it as an example, right?
no. But what I was trying to say is, you do have to, because it matters about body language and stuff. So you do have to be mindful, yeah, of how you're moving in it. Like in that moment in time, as much as I know it's innocent and it's a dance, I know I'm dancing with somebody else's gal. They're there. They're in the building or whatever. So you would be mindful of, like I'm saying, just how you move. If you see certain people and their body language is moving crazy, like you can't wallpaper no one's gal. You get what I'm trying to say? If you do that, that's mental.
What does that mean?
What, when you wallpaper a thing?
Yes, please. Why did you just see why I do this? I don't do this.
Because you're an old Caribbean man. You must have wallpapered one gal in a dance before.
Please, you've said it again. Can you give me the
I didn't even try to
definition?
even try to understand. I just said it's above me.
Have you seen in like? Actually, is there even movies that I can think of references like slow dancing, slow whining up against the wall? So like the girl's up against the wall, you're up against her, pressed flat, and you're slow dancing, just gyrating, like just you're just wallpapering that. You get me? Pressed up against the wall, slow.
You know that film?
You can imagine what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Michael Ward and
When they go back and it's old school,
yeah.
and they go into the Shubins,
Yes.
and there's gal up against the wall getting
Yes,
wallpaper.
that one.
Yes,
Remember that film?
yes.
The recent
Small
Empire
Axe?
of
It was
Light.
on BBC something.
Yeah, it might be Small-Axe thing.
Small-Axe?
Yeah,
Yeah, Small Axe.
yeah. And there's gal up against the wall getting wallpaper. That kind of style is old school. Them type of thing. There, you can't be if your gal's getting wallpaper. Like she shouldn't even want to partake in that.
Also, that's no go. That's
That's
not part
impossible.
of-
That's impossible.
But that's a chemistry developer. That's dangerous, man.
What?
That's impossible.
A chemistry developer. Wait. So you're saying feelings could be caught through that particular action, but not the other.
Number one's quick and bounce. You know what I'm saying? This one's like, I'm getting to know you and all that.
Okay.
Exchanging of the souls.
All right.
That one's
So
brazy.
it's basically slow whining.
Yeah, like. Don't you think slow whining is worse than what he done? If you caught a man slow whining, you don't think that's worse than what Chance is doing? No, let me unpack this quickly because I need you to answer. Is it not worse?
No, but in my single state, I can't even imagine it.
What slow whining is on?
You must want to die. You must do. Like, what? That's wild. If I find that wild, slow whining.
Yeah, it's mad.
No,
All right. So no wallpapering, right?
no wallpapering, definitely not.
Okay.
No
So
way.
smacking the bums, that's okay. Would you just smack your friend's bum? Your friend's mum? No, your friend's girl's bum while you're whining with her.
No,
Why not?
it's inappropriate.
All right. So keep your hands to yourself.
Well, if it's a man's gal, yeah. If I was out and
For a stranger. She's
yeah,
a
if I
man's
was
girl.
in there, I might slap a thing's bum.
All right. So when it comes to carnival, the cultural practice is fine to slap a stranger's bum whilst holding a wine.
You don't know she's got a man.
I don't want to say that because it's not about slapping bums. People are going to express themselves however they express
Add an
themselves.
extra.
Yeah, like people express themselves however they express themselves, and people gonna allow whatever they allow in it. So if people are cool, if people want to go around slapping bums, and people are cool to get their bum slapped, that's on them. I'm not saying that's not part of
To be honest,
anything.
you need to get consent. So,
Yeah.
get consent.
Yeah, I'm
to
saying that's
slap
not
with
part.
bums.
That's not the slapping bums part is not part of anything. That's not part of the culture. That.
So you'd wait until she grabs your hand and then puts it on her bum.
No,
You would.
I'll do whatever I want. But I'm saying you packaging it like it's part of the culture to be going around smacking bums and these things.
I'm talking about. I'm trying to set the etiquette guidelines.
Yeah, so it's not about smacking bums. Again, that's each to the individual, isn't it? Like he was feeling himself, he was feeling in the moment,
was in the
and he
moment.
smacked a little ass. You get me? That's not part of the deal. It's not like to say like it's not. That's each to the it's an individual basis. I'm saying
Okay.
like you don't need to highlight the smacking of the bum.
Okay.
It's not giving.
Yeah.
Is your pastor's son?
Who Chance?
Yeah.
Is he?
He's a Christian. He does a lot of Christian stuff.
See
Right,
now
he's
Christians
rapping-
can't
rapping like
dance.
Christian
We
rap.
got to do this. We were talking about twerking for Jesus the other day, and obviously that's wrong. But I'm saying, what Christians can't dance now?
I already told babe. I told you anyone can do anything they want to do. Just not with me. just not when I'm your girl. You can't. No.
Okay, so honestly, yeah, this is honestly, yeah, you got to have a man, yeah, Caribbean man. He's all for the culture. He loves the dancing, all that kind of stuff, yeah. You're in that situation, yeah. You go, there's somewhere, I don't know, carnival.
It's a video.
Carnival, yeah. And there's actually a video, and your man's getting wind up in carnival.
Yeah.
What do you do with that? What are you doing with that? Honestly, I mean, don't be stupid as well. Be serious. What are you doing with that?
I'll be honest with you, yeah. If I was to go out with someone who's Caribbean, these are conversations I'm having with you from like to know what the boundaries and stuff like that is.
Like, what are you on when you go carnival? Like,
yeah, do you go carnival? Because I've never been carnival. I'm about to start now.
okay.
So, do you go to carnival? Okay, and what are you like when you go to carnival? Like, I actually want to know these things because
I think that says a lot. Because if you've been carnival, I think you'd even just walked through there one time. I think you'd probably think differently about it. Then.
No, because there's a lot of things I see that I still think the same about.
No, but when you see, obviously, you probably would have seen dumb antics online, right? But it's not the same as going and being there and being immersed in something, innit?
Because again, it's still not my thing. Do you know what I mean? I feel like, and that's what it is. So if it's his thing, obviously we've got to come to a compromise where you have to understand that this is not my culture. So it is foreign to me. But at the same time, I have to understand that this is your culture. Is that so we come to a mutual, some form of agreement. If I saw that video, let's just say my man was Chance the Rapper and I saw that video, we're having a conversation. I feel like if I saw you, if you're winding up, cool. I could actually, that could slide. But the slapping of the bum, that one's different. That one we'll have to talk about.
That's crazy.
But this is why you have to be equally yoked. And know where you go where you won't get headache. Because I'm not trying to have conversations every year about carnival and what you're allowed to. Like, I'm not trying to, I don't believe in controlling relationships. I'm like, you're not allowed to do that. You're not actually, like, it's not that. There's things I wouldn't do just because I respect my partner. You slapping a girl's bum and carnival, you should not be doing that because you respect me. But, yeah, man.
Do you feel like, I guess, obviously I'm kind of generalizing here, but Caribbean dancing, right, is very sexual. Is that basically where the issue is?
No, because
Is it really sexual, though?
Western.
Why
From African eyes, it is, you know.
Sorry. Why do you say it's very sexual?
Because what is the issue with the dancing?
No, do you see it as sexual?
No, we'll come back to that after. But what I'm saying is, like for those of us who may have issues with it, is it because it's sexual? You know what I'm saying?
So you define it as sexual. So do you see it as sexual?
I mean, it's sexual yeah, of course it's sexual. It's like twerking. Like, would you do that in church?
Wait, are you talking about this, what you've just seen, you mean?
Like on the thingy?
Because I keep telling you, like, whining it doesn't just constitute that. Do you understand? I said that looks like a form of daggering to me. Yes, that is.
Yeah.
So what? You're mimicking a thrust.
So that's what I'm saying to you.
Like I said, for me, that's not the be all and end all of a whining.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
So that aspect of it.
But this
or
wine
you're just talking about, because you said Caribbean culture is full of sexual dance.
No, dancing, like Caribbean dancing. Like, yeah, basically.
I don't know, because
I'm generalizing, of course.
So when you look at Latin dancing and stuff, do you think that's sexual too?
I think some of it can be.
And let me pull up some African dances. Because I swear I've seen some African dancing that is very, 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 very sensual.
Salsa.
Very sensual.
Yeah, it's basically like sex on the dance floor.
I want to do that. I'm
The
going to
rumba and them thing there. What, the rumba?
I'm going to salsa dance.
Wait. So how do you say that rumba is street sex, right? Like just with clothes on.
Wait, I need to remember which one the rumba is. One of them is.
Show us what you're talking about. Which one is we talking about?
What, show you?
No, don't start up or anything, but show us the...
All of them. Any of them moves.
I need to show me.
Any of them moves from Dirty Dancing.
I hear what you're saying. Any, but show us.
I ain't got it like that. But look at, because all the man them that do Strictly end up chopping the things. All the Strictly people, nearly every episode of Strictly, someone gets cheated on. You get me? If that was just bashment music, that wouldn't happen.
Cheated on? Strictly Come Dancing?
Strictly Come Dancing, yes.
Wait, I've never watched this show. Wait, there's like a reality TV element.
No, you just hear it after the show.
To Strictly.
Oh, serious?
They train every week. So when you go from every week and you see them training for the songs, they're together all the time.
So you see them living in quarters together and stuff?
No, you just see them training, innit?
So where does this whole...
Because afterwards, you know, it's broke up marriages and that. There's people being cheated. Like, they chop. The contestants chop the other people, man and the gal. Like, they chop each other.
Oh.
They're together. They started on Strictly, now they're together. Like, this is a thing. It happens all the time.
So you're saying that rumba and salsa is chemistry dancing? As Emmanuel said before.
I don't know, but all I
that
know
more
is, yeah,
parenting?
all I know is, yeah, if Strictly every week was just bashment music, then they would have went back home to their
Are you
families.
sure?
Yes. Would have been light-hearted, jovial thing. You get what I'm trying to say? They would have went back home to their families. That was breaking up homes. Bashment ain't never break up no home.
You think so?
Never had the hope to start with.
Don't say that.
I was joking.
Don't say that.
So, man, it's a sexual dance, yeah?
I think. I mean, yeah, 100%, of course, man.
But a lot of dances are sexual though. Like we talked about twerking, I think that's sexual as well. I think a lot of dances are sexual though. That's the thing.
Is the man and woman going to get aroused? Yeah, if they're doing a waltz. If they're doing
Depends.
that. Serious?
Yeah, because that's the thing. But it's about how you see it based on how it is you've been raised and your culture and stuff like that. There's people that might be very, very like that chemistry of when you waltz, when you look into each other's eyes, when you're on beat, when all of that stuff for them will be that.
This is true.
But again, because it's not what we're used to seeing, we'll be like, no, that's not sexual at all.
But
there's
those
probably some Karens out there who are upset that Gary's out here waltzing with another woman.
That routine stuff like that will build way more chemistry than anything Chance done in that video. Like,
When I drop my head back, you pick me up. Are you kidding me? Nah, man, that is catching feelings from that. It's a man you can rely on. I can trust you. Yeah, I think it just depends, innit? It's about what you're exposed to.
I see dancing, yeah. I'm not maybe not together yet, but I've seen examples of African dancing, yeah, and it's all very much waist gyrating and all this kind of stuff.
Especially Congolese.
Especially the Congolese, even the boys, the Congolese boys.
I don't know what they do, but
It's the culture. It gives me the ick.
Go on PK's Instagram.
I can't.
Yeah.
I only like the ones with top. I only like the ones when telling jokes from the top up.
No, but I'm saying, so why is there no negative connotation in that, or is it because I don't understand? What's the difference?
I think there is though, you know, like in those circles.
But that's what I was
they
saying
know.
to you, yeah. Because even like African, like there's dances again in African culture that are sexual, and I think dancing cool with someone is fine, but there's certain dances that make me like, oh, you're trying to steal my husband. You can't be winding up, doing up water waste on my husband.
And in like
Yeah,
Afrobeats dances, when the Afrobeat section come on and the gal are getting wind up, you start moving like you're dancing to bashment anyway.
Because again,
There's no separate Afrobeats
because
moves.
we dance
You're not
about-
drawing for your Afrobeats moves. You're using.
yeah, because we dance about waist and bum in our culture anyway.
So that's what I'm saying. So you do it all the time. So it's normal. But
Yeah, but I'm not saying it's not normal. It's normal. You just can't do it on my man.
But that's why
It's normal.
That's why I guess that's the problem, innit? Because like you know what it is. Like if you're seeing somebody from I guess like African culture, yeah, doing this particular thing, in his or her mind, they know this is not the norm for us. So if we're doing this, it means
It's
you know
not
what I'm saying?
appropriate. Do you get me? Like you
Exactly.
can do it if it's like a friend or whatever, and that's cool. But it's like obviously I know this is my personal issue, but there's a certain way I dress around like married men and stuff. If I'm going to like my friend's house and they're married or whatever, I'm not going to dress to their house how I would dress to brunch or whatever like that. Do you get me? Because again, it's about me being appropriate. Obviously, that is a lot of layers to it, but for another day. But that's again how I've been raised. That's my culture, and it's just that way.
okay, then, but everybody can do things when they're dancing individually. Yeah, is there any examples of them dancing together? Then does that make sense? Because then that will give
Brentons
us
have all the
the
videos.
that will give us more of an insight to what it's like if they're dancing together.
We're looking at some mapuka.
What's Mapuka? What country is this from?
You can't see Emmanuel?
This is harmless though. Oh, what's that? Oh, Russian. Okay, good cheek flicks. Oh,
Not your cheek
Yeah,
flick.
it's a whole playlist.
good cheek flicks and that. You know, yeah, you are rude. You were more talking about my people. They're doing cheek flicks.
I've actually had to put
But
up
I'm not doing that on another
the clean
man.
version. I've typed this into Google and hello. Let me show you. Look.
Father. Oh my
Okay.
God. Wait, to go back up. To go up.
No.
This is wild.
This morning, sir.
I'm gonna say press that one. Let me see that one. Brent, know which one I wanted you to press. Yo.
Actually said so.
We click this one here. This Mapuka dance here. Hold up.
It's foolishness.
Father God. Oh yeah, she's got it. So if she's doing that on a man, what do you think is going to be happening? If the man's there and she's doing that, what do you think is going to be happening?
Is she African? If she's African and she's doing this on someone else, if it was like a man that's not like that's just there, not married, anything like that, that's calm. But say I was there and like, she knows me, she knows my husband, and she does that with my husband, she's definitely getting slut shamed 100%. By me and my aunties, 100%.
So it's a red flag for you if it is that your man is a carnival
Slapping bums.
enthusiast.
Kind of enthusiast. Do you know what? No, because I've dated someone who went to carnival, but like I didn't. If like obviously if he whined and whatever, I didn't care for it. I think sometimes as well, just having video footage makes things worse. But for me, that's fine. If he was whining, you can whine, you can do whatever. But if say I was there or I saw a video of him slapping a girl's bum, that for me is different. That's different. That's where I draw the line. Not at 2 songs.
I hear that.
I can see why you seeing the bum slaps will make you feel like that.
That's a sexual
Because you
thing.
can say like that's excessive, isn't it? Like you're
People do in the bedroom.
You're essentially just slapping bums and squeezing bums and. I mean, but
Oh my gosh.
it's carnival. His bum probably got slapped bare times as well. You
Oh
get me?
dear. I can't see my man's bum get slapped. It's grounds for divorce. That's so icky. I can't see that. No.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Freak Nick documentary
Where's that coming at?
soon. Well,
Okay.
hopefully. People are petition for it to be removed completely.
They're just gonna get. People are just gonna get in trouble for that.
I don't know who they are.
But
What
just
they
because it's gonna be moaning about stuff that happened 100 years ago
years
that
ago.
nobody moaned about at the time, and everybody was happy and indulgent and doing it, and then you are gonna bring it up now, put a microscope under it, and then talk about how wrong it was and try and ruin people's careers and livelihoods for stuff that everybody took part in. I just can't. I ain't got time for people's foolishness, man. But that's literally what they're gonna do. Like someone's gonna come out of there covered in shit, like 100%. You get me? So I don't know. More power to them, though, man.
All right, guys. So I think we're done on topic of the day, man.
So it was all cultural. Innocently cultural.
In the end, it was all cultural.
It's all innocent, man. Honestly, I think people doing like essays and
Yeah, so I don't think it's that deep.
like what over this,
And that's
Nah.
why that's why sometimes I don't understand social media, because something like that, obviously I saw that, and because of the whole comments or whatever is why I reported on it. But something like that, like I don't care for it because it's not my story. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
It's a thing where I can imagine him and his guy looking at it online saying, he's saying, babe, look at it, look what they're saying. Like, look at this, look what they're doing. And she's like, yeah, I know, they're crazy. You get what I'm trying to say?
Maybe so crazy.
They so crazy. Like,
They didn't know what I was doing though.
Wrong,
Yeah,
man.
man. All the best all parties involved.
Yeah, man.
Get into our next head dance.
God damn it.
Good
Good morning,
morning.
caller. Hello? All right.
All right. Then.
So trigger warning there, guys. 2 teenage boys have been charged with murder, after the shooting at a 16th birthday party in Alabama that killed 4 and injured 32 over the weekend. We spoke about this on Monday, I believe. Brothers Tyreek McCullough, who's 17, and Travis McCullough, who's 16, were arrested on Tuesday night, police said. Authorities said the suspects are each being charged with 4 counts of reckless murder and that more charges are expected. Hours later, police announced the arrest of a 3rd suspect. Wilson Lamar Hill, who's 20, is facing the same charges as the 2 boys, who prosecutors say will be charged as adults. Next headline, trigger warning here as well. And a report has revealed that Ofsted was warned on more than 100 occasions about incidents at children's homes where residents face horrific abuse. An expert panel criticised inadequate leadership at the Hesley Group, which ran the homes, as well as failures of regulation. The review lead said a major overhaul of the safeguarding system was needed. The latest report by an expert safeguarding panel examined how the system failed to protect children in the company's care. it found that Ofsted received 108 reports of serious incidents at the homes and that 232 referrals were received by Doncaster Council Safeguarding Lead. And whistleblowers shared concerns with authorities on more than 20 occasions. And the last headline, trigger warning here, actually no trigger warning here, the government is considering issuing new guidance to single-sex schools in England, saying that they aren't legally obliged to admit transgender pupils. New advice is being drawn up by the Education Secretary, Gillian Keegan, and the Equalities Minister, Kemi Badenoch. It will cover the legal position of single-sex schools in relation to admission decisions, as well as how teachers should respond to children who are questioning their gender identity. The guidance, which is first reported on by The Telegraph, is expected to say that schools will not be breaching the Equality Act if they refuse to admit transgender pupils. Also, a report is suggesting that school leaders will also be told they will be allowed to refuse to use a pupil's preferred pronoun. That's it for the headlines.
Thank you. Let's get into Word on Road. All right. So I came across this article on the Business Insider. I actually had to sign up. I'm very committed to my job, you know. I had to sign up, pay £1 to get access to the full articles. I was so intrigued by it. And it's about Love is Blind, the show. And the title of the article is Love is Blind is Hell on Earth. Contestants say producers deprived them of food and sleep, preyed on their anxieties and refused to let them quit. So, of course, it grabbed my attention. So if anyone who doesn't know, Love is Blind is basically a Netflix show, started in 2020, and it's about strangers. It's a social experiment to see if people can fall in love without seeing what each other look like. So you get to know each other, and basically they talk in like little pods, which I would love to have one in my house. It's just really, it looks very peaceful. But yeah, they've got little pods, and they basically speak to each other through the pods. And they don't give any details about what they physically look like or anything like that. You wouldn't say if you're white, black, tall, short, anything like that. And then they basically get to know each other. You speak to different people. And then obviously as the days go by, weeks go by, you then make a selection of who you want to spend the most time talking to. And then they get engaged through the pod. So the man will ask the woman to marry him. I'm not sure if there's been a woman that's asked, but if you're doing Love is Blind, you've got nothing to lose. So they ask each other to marry each other, whatever. And then after they say yes, if they say yes, then they meet each other for the first time. And then they end up going away and blah, blah, blah. And they go away to like a country for, I think, what was it Danielle said yesterday? Was it 3 weeks or 6 weeks? Something like that anyway. And then you either get married or don't get married. So I was so interested because obviously Love is Blind is meant to be it gives like a wholesome concept of, fall in love with the person, and it's all about the person and what they really like. So it was very interesting to hear what the conditions of their filming was like. And apparently they film for like 20 hours a day. 20 hours a day. They don't have access to food and water like that. And obviously because they're filming 20 hours a day, they get very sleep deprived. And so, but then the contestants who did this article, basically helped them with this article, they're real life contestants. A lot of them were from season 1 and season 1 and season 2. But anyways, they were basically saying how they feel like them being sleep deprived, not being allowed to sleep, is intentional, so that they can make them go crazy. Because obviously if you don't get sleep, you start to lose your mind. And obviously that will make for good content. Because they were also saying how they don't get access to like food and water, like as you would think. However, they're constantly being given alcohol.
Oh, wow.
Constantly being given alcohol. If you request a sandwich and you request a bottle of wine, they bring you 4 bottles of wine. And then one of the girls was saying how she was intentional about not drinking because she knew what she wasn't eating properly and whatever. And then she just made a joke about, this is the type of wine I want. And so the next day they gave her 4 bottles of it. So I'm just not really getting food. So I thought that was very interesting. And then also they get the assistants on set and whatever to consistently top up their glass. Like their glasses are never empty.
Wow.
And then it makes sense because basically in the seasons you will see like here and there where people fall asleep in the pods with the other person talking to them. Yeah. It makes sense now. I'm flipping tired. I thought it was because people were boring because it tends to be boring anyway. But yeah, it's because it's because people are sleep deprived. And there was a contestant actually, she passed out. She passed out due to like lack of care. And then when she woke up, they just got her back in the interview room. They didn't do a medical check. They just said, all right, get back on set kind of thing. So yeah, a lot of them have talked about, and they also talked about like the mental health aspect of it and how they don't take good care of them, which obviously is a big thing in terms of reality TV. We've seen it with Love Island, how they don't help them, they don't give them adequate mental health care during and after the filming, before, during, and after. One of the contestants actually said that she told them, trigger warning, self-harm. She basically told them that she'd been suicidal in the past. So because they do it like they say they do a psychological assessment before to see if you're fit enough for the show, you're fit to handle the show. But she was saying how she thinks that, she said she basically let them know that, listen, I struggled a lot, I've attempted suicide, I battle with mental health, I battle with this and that, whatever. And she said she actually feels like that's why they got her on the show. Because the brand has like crazy, so they're like, okay, that's good, then that's good entertainment, like come on the show kind of thing. So she was saying how they just do it. She was saying how the pre-checks is just so they can cover their backs. Like, oh, we did our checks. But really, nothing you say plays a part in it. Because she said how, obviously, not getting the right kind of help during the show and after the show, because a lot of them become famous, and then you see all this stuff being said about you online, and they're normal people with normal jobs and whatever. So not having that care obviously would affect them. Some of them have had to like quit their jobs because they literally cannot function in a normal life. It's difficult for them. It was very, very interesting. And then one of the girls was saying as well how like they use their sad stories to get like against them basically. So she was saying how, you know, she was just talking to a producer, but like just casual conversation, not filming anything. And when I think she was talking about like, I think her parent dying or something like that. Very long article, very long, but interesting though. But talking about like something like that, something deep like that, loss or grieving or something like that, or relationship or whatever. And then when the cameras were on, they're like, all right, talk about it then. Like they kind of got her to talk about it and whatever. And there was another contestant, I think she was in season 1, and she and this guy were talking about the bonding over how both their parents died, and they were really having like a very emotional conversation. And because it wasn't what they wanted, they were like, okay, cut it out, basically. So it was very, very interesting article, I can't lie. I think if you're interested in just knowing how these things work, reality TV shows and all, just the reality of things, I would definitely suggest it. It's £1. And then you can cancel it. That's what I had to do. But yeah, it was very interesting. I think it's wild that, you know, obviously they're not eating enough, they're not sleeping enough, they're not drinking. And apparently the first season as well, they had them sleeping in like tour buses. Basically that. And apparently the beds were not comfortable, there was rats in there. What? And yeah, there was rats in there. And then they had to basically be like, no, when like they all had to take a stance and be like, we're not sleeping in here.
Ridiculous.
That's when they then checked them into a hotel.
That's ridiculous, though.
It's like the conditions. Honestly, it's giving me Squid Game. Can't even lie to you. It's really giving. You have to resist. Like, is love really worth it? My love cannot be blind after all this sufferings. So the least my love can do is bloody see. I tell you that. But yeah, it was very, very interesting to hear about these things. And apparently as well, like even when it comes to like them being paid, they can only be paid, I think, $1,000 a week with a maximum of 8 weeks, which is the duration of the show and whatever. However, when you work it out to them working 20 hours, it's less than minimum wage.
Yeah.
Because one of the contestants, he took them to court. I'm not sure if he's won anything like that or if it's still ongoing, but he basically took them to court and said that it's against, they're violating the labor laws.
Yeah.
So obviously when you hear $1,000, 8 weeks, you think $8,000, that's fine. Do you know what I mean? But when they start working you to the bone, and then when they get there as well, they take their like passports, their phones, their everything. They're not allowed contact with the outside world. They're not even allowed to listen to music on the bus rides. Between the hotel and the place they film, they're never allowed to listen to music. Like it's proper weird. It's very camp punishment like. But yeah, it was very interesting, and now it makes sense why obviously people move the way they're moving it. I'm not sure if obviously with the third season they would have improved things drastically, but it sounds like the first season they were the scapegoats. But speaking of love, John Boyega's alleged ex, I'm not sure if it's confirmed, she basically called him out for cheating.
On who? On her?
Yeah.
Do we know who she is?
Yes, so she's an influencer. Her name is Pamela.
Okay.
Pama CB, her Instagram is, I believe. But she's like an influencer. Like, she's known, basically. So basically, I'm going to read some of the stuff that she said. She talked a lot. There's a video of her going viral at the moment. But you know what? It's like, I'm in two minds about it. Because I am very much, I don't like people knowing that I'm struggling with something or like keep things in-house, which isn't always healthy. But at the same time, like I have a lot of shame. And I think more people need to have some, is that the girl?
I don't know. You said Pama CB?
Yeah. Is that Instagram? Yeah, that's her. Yeah.
Man, how do I look?
John Boyega's ex.
Man, let me hook you up.
All right, cool.
So yeah,
said
I'm
too
very
loud,
much
didn't
like, what did you say?
What's that?
What did you say?
He said, let me hook you up.
Oh.
He's talking about this thing here, innit?
Her name is Pama CB. Pamma
Thank you.
CB. Hold on. Pamma. Yeah, man. Should I DM it to you? Have you got it? But yeah, man. So yeah. So she basically called him out.
She's thick like Burger King milkshake, innit? Where's she from?
She's from Zimbabwe.
Follow her and ask her.
Who, me?
I think she's from Zimbabwe. Yeah, I think she is. But anyways, so she basically was saying that they're dating, and this is why I say like I get it, because she's obviously going through heartbreak in it, and heartbreak stinks. But there's some so she was with one of her friends there, one of her close friends or whatever. They were like checking to a penthouse. The friend was trying to cheer her up or whatever, and they were drinking. She was drinking bottles and bottles of wine. Like, do you know how you know someone's going through it? Yeah. So there was the glass for the wine. She filled it to the brim, and I don't mean where you can see. There was no space, man. Like. So there's this challenge on TikTok where basically you fill like a glass of water and it's like, say a group of friends, say like all of us in this room, we have a glass of water on the table, and we keep topping it up. But whoever is that the water, you top it up and it spills, that's who fails in it. And I've seen some amazing, it's sick how much a glass can hold in it. Hers, she's winning every damn challenge. Like, I couldn't believe it. But this is the vibe, because obviously she was hurting and whatever, and basically she was basically spilling all the tea on her Instagram.
She looks a bit like
It was a lot.
Yeah.
She does, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like
Don't say it.
Oh, I used to follow this thing. She's changed. She looks different.
She's like who?
Oh, me muted.
Yeah, saw them. Meet again.
All right.
It's mad.
Unmuted.
But yeah, so basically she.
No, I actually know this thing. Well, I don't know her personally, but I know her. But why she looks so different now?
She's had things done.
She's changed.
She's quote unquote glowed up.
She was better before.
But yeah, okay, so basically, that's the thing, they never see it. It's wild. They never see it. That's what happened with Angela White, aka Black Channel.
Yeah.
Like when you're in the thick of the surgery and the fillers, you don't actually see how ridiculous you're looking. And to see that before, you look nicer. But that's how insecurities get you, man. So basically, she said some of these blogs get a bad rap, but shout out to that one blog and Tequila, because she keeps saying that Tequila saved her life. She told her mum on FaceTime, and mum was like, really? Auntie didn't know what to do. So she said some of these blogs get a bad rap but shout out to that one blog and Tequila, because if I hadn't had a drunk moment and if they hadn't been in my business, I would have never known that a man I admired and was dating for a while had a whole other person in his life and had us playing one in, one out, pretending to be disgusted and angry at the things people would say about me, as in her. So apparently people talk about her a lot, blah, blah. So when he comes to her, he's like, I don't understand why people hate you, why people are saying these things. But apparently he's been spreading the rumors as well.
She's
Let me get there. Let me give you the receipts.
Okay.
Now, I know why he never defended me, knowing full well I'm none of the things you call me. You used to sit in my face and say you hated that people bully me and they lie about me because they don't know me. Now, you know this is real when she's got it in caps in the midst of low small letters.
Who's the other lady?
Sorry?
Who's the other lady? Do we have?
No, we don't know who she is. No,
Okay.
no.
And then
She's got
new
shit.
thing,
Sorry,
though.
Fernand.
And then new thing.
In the what?
And then new girl that Mr. Boyega's got.
Oh, Mr. Boyega, you made me sick.
Wow.
Mr. Boyega. Yeah, well, it must be because apparently it was 2 of them at the time. But I don't know if, because sometimes this is the thing with women. Let me put this on. That girl that you're worrying about, yeah, she's never the one you need to be worrying about. There's always more. It's mad. Like, and I'm telling you this first hand. You're out here worrying about the girl that you can see in your face whole time. She's not. It's not even her.
She's not the danger, innit?
She's not the danger.
She's the decoy.
It's just a decoy. And do you know how long it took me to learn that? Mad. But now I know better, innit? Anyway, so she said, it was because you were lying to the other person in the picture and telling her I was those things so she wouldn't worry about me. Totally dehumanized me for what? I took a month out of my life to support you. So I need girls to stop being one of the maid. If you're going to, like, I'm not against, cooking, cleaning, all that kind of stuff. I think do whatever you want to do in it. But do it because you want to do it, not to impress and bag a man. I don't believe in doing things because you want to bag a man. I'm going to feed you because I want to feed you, not because I want you to think I'm a good wife. So, this is the next part. She says, I took a month out of my life to support you at work.
Support Boyega.
Yeah.
Doing what?
So she was cooking and cleaning.
Is that it?
And so much more. Be careful out there. The wicked things people say about you usually come from people who claim to care about you. Imagine I'm being dragged like I'm beneath this person, but this person has fed me to the wolves behind my back. I was good to you. How could you do this to me? How could you sit and watch hundreds of people call me worthless and so much more? This is all in caps. I'm giving this one to God. I'm giving this one to God because I already know the court of public opinion will never ever be on my side. Okay, I don't care about that. And it says, at this point, please feel free to use those evil words you people use towards me. Go crazy. Knowing that someone I trusted, I shared a bed with, cooked for, cleaned, was kind to for months on end, can lie and do the same is the penultimate torture. And then she said, men, obviously said the N-word, will use the mouth they scrub and moisturize with. Basically, yeah. You know how, like, when you have a woman in your life, yeah, like, your life gets better, innit? You got the right woman, your life gets better. She shows you good products you can use in your skin. Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest with you, one of the worst things is me putting you onto things and now you're using them new things on your next girl. Are you sick? So she's basically talking about how she put him onto some good skincare and that glowy skin is what he's using to go and be lying to other women. She's talking about how, he's pillow talking with the engraved silk pillow that she bought. And then she said,
So when he was buying her bags and shoes that she was putting on Instagram,
we don't know what he bought
followers. He bought her stuff.
There's no receipts. But she's giving
wasted the
receipts. She said, men will be out here cuddling girls. She said B word, I don't believe in that. But men will be out here cuddling girls in the satin pajamas you bought them. Sorry. I just can't. She said she doesn't care about, she's just saying all these things. She's going to say whatever she wants to say, blah, blah. She said she's glad that she moved on with her life after she saw inconsistencies. And I'm so angry that I didn't trust my intuition in the end.
Yeah, tell her make sure when she moves on, don't use none of them moves John taught her as well, you know.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Make sure.
Exactly.
You want to talk about face care and skin routine. Don't use none of them skills I taught you on your next man either. You get me?
No, you got to.
Facts.
You got to now.
Yeah, you got to keep him.
This is crazy.
You know what I'm
You got
saying?
to keep him.
This is...
You approach a girl with nice glowy skin, that's fine. And then I approach the next man with more confidence.
Yeah, but you're saying it's
Give
fine.
and take.
She's complaining.
Yeah, listen, I believe in evolving and upgrading. And if you show me some things, sometimes you're just a boyfriend or husband fluffer. Sometimes some guys are just a girlfriend and wife fluffer. And that's okay. It's a game of life. Sometimes you just prepare the person to meet the love of their life.
This is it, man.
Got to take that L. Someone somewhere is preparing your man for when he's going to meet you.
For you.
And that's the cycle. It is what it is. But yeah, man, she said dating is not a crime. People date multiple people when they are looking for their person. This started because I read a comment saying some totally untrue things about me. And when I DM'd the person, only to find out they had been told these things about me by the person that she dated. And so many more hurtful and disgusting details. I'm hurt and I'm processing, so my behavior might be a little unusual because it's sore. And of course, John ain't said nothing. which I wouldn't.
Has she spoken? Well, she hasn't said if she's spoken to John yet. innit?
No, but she tagged him though. She's like, you're not gonna have the. She tagged him at John Boyega. You're not gonna have the last word.
This guy is bigger than this, man. I never heard of her in my life. I
Is
heard
he
of John.
though? Because you know what is here. Thing is, you will see him and think, oh, that you would know how to carry yourself. But he's just a normal human being.
No,
He's just a normal guy with money. Men make silly mistakes. No matter what level they are.
Yeah, that's true, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? So this doesn't sound. It's not wild to me.
What's he supposed to have done?
What do you mean?
What's he done? Sorry.
So basically, he basically, I guess she must have thought they were dating just one-o, but apparently he wasn't. And then also he was then talking bad mouthing her to the other girl, which I think is the worst. Like,
Gyal gotta stop doing this though. Enough Gyal
Stop
claim,
it.
man. Sometimes you have like they do this revision of history stuff. You know, you have conversations. There's girls that are walking around out there telling people that they used to see me, yeah? That they were seeing me. Seeing me? What with your eyes? Like,
Well, technically.
you know what I mean? Because technically, yeah.
Technicality.
Technically, you saw me every time you saw me, but what the hell? What are we doing there? Like, do you know what I'm trying to say?
That's
Like,
what I'm saying.
she was probably just getting cooked up by Boyega, and now she wants to make a scene about it. Like,
And this is why I always tell men, you need to know who it is that you're getting involved with.
And didn't you say she spent, what is it, a month supporting him?
No, that was 1 month when I think I said when he must have been on set or something. So she basically took time out of her busy schedule
To do what? Bring him pack
just to be there to support him and
So
stuff.
these are all allegations, right? Because
Yeah, it's all
Exactly.
alleged.
apparently he doesn't cheat. He doesn't.
Who said that? He said he only dates black women. That's how you
This
got
is what he said when he had a megaphone in his
You
hand.
got to listen to
He
people's
said,
words.
protect black women.
He said I
what
only
I'm saying.
date. Yeah, but how many black men are protecting black women
And this is what he said when he gave his speech. You know,
in adultery?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't talk about that.
these
innit?
are all allegations. Yeah, he
It's all-
did it.
yeah,
man.
of course.
This is why I said, has she spoken to him? Because it sounds like she just heard from another woman that he was talking bad about her. And we know people lie. People do this all the time. She's not
but
even
you know
heard
that-
it from him.
Yeah, but you know, it's sometimes though. Obviously, she's not gonna say exactly what it was, but because with girls as well, these days the girls, if they're coming to you and saying someone said this about you, they're not coming with just. They're giving you receipts. They're
know-
showing you phone numbers. They're showing you text messages. They're showing you friends.
Let me tell you something so funny. Yeah, I was just watching this the other day. It was Marv, innit, from Free Shots. Yeah, I think he was doing a live. No, it wasn't a live. It was a normal thingy, innit. And he took a picture with one girl, innit. And this girl's
Now
now
the neck for that.
right. So this girl has screenshotted the message from this brother, yeah, that's reached out to her,
Yeah.
because she's seen, because he's seen her
Yeah.
with Marv, yeah, and said to her, "Be careful of Marv. Basically, I know his girlfriend. These times Marv's chilling single.
yeah, you ain't got a girlfriend, innit?
No chick. Guy just came out of his way to lie just so he can try and get the girl. This is what animals are doing to
But
them.
that's a man though.
Women do the same thing.
Yeah, but do you know what? I would not deny that there are absolutely women who make up stuff as well, but there's more women telling the truth than making up stuff with men. But
That's
no,
not
it's,
true.
no, it is
That's
true.
not true.
Because women come with receipts. Again, this is it. Because a lot of women, when they're coming to someone as a woman, they're very happy. They're gleefully doing it. But my thing is, the reason why I always say to people, don't ever come to me as a woman. Don't ever make that mistake of coming to me as a woman. Like, don't ever make that mistake. I'm not leaving him because on your stupid words. I'll tell you that, first of all. But the thing is, yeah, like a lot of women, they do that. The thing is, they know that guy has a girlfriend. It's when the guy crosses her, then you want to come to the girl as a woman.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Come to me as a woman if you did not know about my existence. Don't know about me for 1+ year, and now because he decided to
'Cause
break
you're
things off with
disgruntled,
you,
innit?
now you want to ruin my day because he ruined your day.
Can you imagine?
Come to me as a woman with sense, please. And this is the problem I have about that whole coming to someone as a woman. Do you get me? So I feel like even with this situation, maybe the other girl, maybe she found out that as actually, yeah, he's moved on from me as well, which is why she's sharing. Because also, women will keep a guy's secret. There are women who, like, you can see her leaving your man's house and she'll be like, I don't know him. We have nothing. Do you get what I mean? If a woman has, if you keep her sweet and she has no reason to pull up, to burn all of this mess down to the ground, she wouldn't. But if she does, if she's out here giving you receipts and showing screenshots and whatever, there's a reason for it. But anyway, all of this, I'm not here for all of this foolishness anyway. But I do feel bad for her because heartbreak is not easy, innit? And I can empathize with her pain. And I think people just show it in different ways. Like,
If she was John's girl, I think he would have been very intentional with it. If that makes sense.
Isn't that because he gave a speech at the Black Lives
And he
Matter?
cried as well.
No, I'm just saying they would have been on his arm.
He cried and said,
Brent.
protect black women.
Brent.
There's more to this story.
No,
We
if he
sat
found
here-
his
More to
if
the
he found
story.
his black woman,
Wait a
that
minute.
he would have championed it. That's his one, innit?
Well, I need to address the tears.
So that's not
We
that one
sat
is
here-
girl.
I
Probably.
need to address the tears. We sat here and Mugs,
Me.
King Mugs, gave you the playbook of how it is you get the tears
No,
rolling.
no.
Men cry all the time. It
No.
don't mean nothing.
No.
Men are out here
Can
crying.
you remember
doing
that?
Not for the
Snot
public.
bubble
wait,
Not for
and
the
it
public.
ditchy.
Did it
Not for the
actually
public.
happen? Did it
That-
actually happen?
No, I don't think so. But that's when they got to cry out of necessity. He had no reason to cry. I think.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, if he was under pressure, I could understand where you would be coming from. There might be something in it, but that was just raw emotion.
Yeah.
We all sat here, right, and watched Jonathan Majors play into the 2023 Malcolm X, Martin Luther's kin. We watched this man do that only for what, a week after. More allegations come out, but I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. 'Cause it's just one thing at a time with me. But do you get me? Like, all of this it's about public perception. It's about people thinking that you're this kind of guy and you're a guy who loves and cherishes your wife and blah blah. And look at what they're doing. The girls are going through behind closed doors. But I'm wishing her healing in it because it's not fun. It's not great in it. But yeah, because there's also what you said, to be fair, where sometimes you be casually seeing somebody and they've got the wrong end of the stick. Do you know what I mean?
I've had conversations with people, and even as if it's years later, and their version of events and is different to mine.
They
And
feel
I
like
want
it's so interesting though.
And I want to say that it's like cool, like because you was cool. Me and you was blessed. We was always cool. Like, don't get me wrong, but I didn't know that's what you thought. I didn't know you. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what's interesting. That's why you have to literally have very, very clear conversations because your experiences of something is so different to their experience.
I've got bare exes that are not my exes, bro. Like, there's bare girls out there that will tell people,
They're your ex.
they're my ex. The Mark, I was seeing Mark, like, you know what I'm saying? And
So you have
they
to
were
have
not my
conversations.
girls, bro. Like, that's brazy. Like, honestly,
That's wild that you would think that.
yeah, it's wild that you would think that. I don't know.
But this is why you have to have very clear conversations. This is why I ask men. Listen, I say to a guy, yeah, do you have a girlfriend? He's like, no, I don't. I said, that's good. Are there any women that think they're your girlfriend? You have to be, like when you take the prayers to the Lord.
It's
and pray,
not about
you have to
think.
you have to be
Look,
specific.
it's open.
can't think
No, because listen, those girls
one
thought they thought you were the guy.
Girls, ladies, let me just tell you now, yeah.
Here we go.
Then actually, no, you know what? Because some man will say that you're the girl and they're lying.
There's that as well. It's
Yeah,
difficult.
Yeah, but they're terrorists.
They are terrorists.
Yeah, man.
It's tough.
Are they?
No, because I was going to say something, but
So
there are
continue.
men that do
won't-
that.
That won't be part of the clip. So continue.
No, but that's the thing. But
I'm
so-
just saying, yeah, listen, yeah. It doesn't matter how many fancy restaurants you've gone to, walks in the park, forehead kisses. How much demons you unpacked, yeah? The support,
Picnics.
picnics. No, it doesn't. If he ain't told you you're his gal, you ain't his gal, yeah? I don't care what you done. I don't care if you gave him your last £20,000, yeah, for his startup, for business startup. You get what I'm trying to say?
I'm gonna need girls to stop doing that. Stop giving men money. Stop it. Stop it.
It's a good investment.
No, it's not. They never pay you back. They never pay you back. Stop giving guys money.
It's good for the black community.
No, stop it. No, it's not. I don't care about black businesses like that. I'm not giving no black man money to start up when he's with another girl. That's dead. It's difficult, but I always say to people, listen, just be very clear. I do say the same thing to girls. To be fair, like until you say that this is like I'm your girlfriend, and even that it doesn't stop there. Am I your only girlfriend? You have to be so specific with men. But anyways, I wish her all the best in her healing. I hope things work out for her. But on a positive note, I keep telling you guys about Abbott Elementary. You need to watch it if you haven't watched it.
You only date Nigerian men.
Who, me?
So your
Do you know
advice
what-
is only to...
Do you know what kind of predicament I'm in? They're the worst of the bunch, Brent.
Yeah, she ain't talking about Caribbeans, by the way.
Caribbean men are worse, I've heard, but I've never
you
tried
can't say
that.
you heard. You haven't tried
I think that might have been the sentiment going around back in the day, but after like we've had,
We cleaned up, man.
no, but Nigerians are worse than the Caribbean men now.
You've always been.
They have always been, but they didn't know people was making a
You're talking a bit
scene.
too fast there, but
Exactly. This is
you're
not
too
true.
keen
It's not true.
to add to the conversation. I don't like that.
Nigerians
Well, no,
are
yeah.
wholesome guys. All Nigerians.
So where's John?
Huh? No, John, do you know what is bad?
That's
you know what's bad?
propaganda, man.
John is a triple threat. He's a man, he's a Nigerian man, and he's a Yoruba man. The worst. And this is why...
It's not true, guys. This is
That,
for
I'm telling
entertainment.
Put it coming back on me. Put it coming back on me. It's a fact. This is it. This is why, like, sometimes I wish I could like other people. But no, not my husband, man. It's going to be a very wholesome, lovely Christian man. Anyways, Abbott Elementary, Janelle James, and she is basically the Principal Ava on Abbott Elementary. She had a interview with Variety, which I thought was absolutely amazing. I just wanted to share little snippets from it. So she talks about her experience, and I didn't know, but apparently a lot of people think that Chris Rock is how she came up. But she was doing things before Chris Rock. So she's been grinding for years and all sorts. But he did give her first, I guess, paid gig. And she's actually been part of like show like she's been on the writing table for a lot of shows and stuff like that. I did not know that. And she's also got a 20-year-old son. Didn't know that either. But I loved her, what's it called? I just loved the interview. I thought it was very, very wholesome, very encouraging. She was talking about how during her startup years, this is 5 years ago actually, where she was still playing at comedy clubs before she got like a big break. Before she got a big break. Basically, she wasn't full-time enough at the comedy club to be paid and to kind of move to New York, basically. So what she would do was stay in New York for like 3-4 nights. And she had a friend who had a bike shop. And basically she would sleep in the bike shop overnight. And she was like, yeah, like it was just, obviously it's a shop in it. So she basically like sleeping like like in the back room kind of thing. But there's like rats, but that's New York. The rats and stuff like that. And then and then during the day when obviously the shop opens, she would just be wandering the streets up and down with her bag until she's got to perform, and then, you know, do it that way for 3-4 nights a week. I just thought it was I thought it was a really good interview. And she also talks about how it is that she got the role of Ava on Abbott Elementary. She said how she doesn't really like shows the way she has to diet for. This is why it's so great when you're involved in black things by black women. It's sick. So she basically said how when she was told about the show and she had to basically audition, she didn't really want to do all of that stuff, but she sent in a tape anyway. And then after she did that, she then DM'd Quinta, which is Abbott's creator, Quinta Brunson, on Twitter, and said to her, you know, I've auditioned for the show, but I've sent a tape in, blah, blah. But Quinta actually liked her, and she said, oh, she's looking forward to watching the show and looking at her tape. Looked at her tape and was like, yeah, you've already got the role. Like, you don't even need to do anything else. You got the role. And she said one of the things that sold her about the role was that she just had to show up as herself. Like she wouldn't have to diet or do anything extreme like that. And she said she loved that. And she also said how, because basically with the role of Ava, she's a principal, but she's like a principal that's clueless. She doesn't know what she's doing. And she's also said how she told Quinta that she didn't have that much acting experience. She's more of a writer and a comedian. And Quinta was like, that's fine, like, we'll work on that. And I think that's one of the best things that's come out of Abbott Elementary, where it's given people just opportunities. Like, it's honestly, the things they continue to do as that show is just so, so amazing. But yeah, it's a really, really good interview. If you want to check it out, do. She also talks about one of her dreams is to play Storm. And she said that's the only thing she's going to diet for in this life, is if she's, if Marvel's paying, you know, if Marvel, casts her for Storm.
Is she fluffy?
Yeah, she's a thick babe.
What's her name?
She's not fat, but she's thick. Janelle James.
Okay, thanks.
But, yeah, and also, so in one of the episodes on Abbott, they had a Halloween episode, and she basically played Storm, because obviously they're aware that she would like to play Storm with Marvel. So that was their way of supporting her manifesting that happening. It's just, honestly, good, Abbott Elementary is such a lovely, beautiful show, man. Like,
yeah, I need to start it.
It's so sick and it's so wholesome, the whole storyline, everything in the show. And then when you see outside of the show as well, like that love between them is so present, because I think yesterday was their last episode premiere, and Quinta, she was like, I know it's Abbott Day because, you know, it's the last episode, but she was like, I need everyone to go and read this amazing interview. And it's just so beautiful and wholesome how they support each other and they're just there for each other. It's really, really lovely. But Abbott Elementary, check it out. It's really, really cool. And Quinta named it after her favourite teacher in school. And it was cute. I think one of those shows with those white men, which one of them? Not James Corden. The other American ones. What are they called? There's late night talk shows.
Oh,
Jimmy Fallon and stuff.
Yeah, them guys.
Yeah, one of them had Quinta on there, and they got the teacher on like
Oh, was it?
TV. It was so cute.
Oh,
You know when they do
nice.
that, like you know, it was really cute. But yeah, man, big up Abbott Elementary, sweeping up their ward scenes and doing all great stuff. And yeah, I'm here for it. All that being said, let's get into People's Journal.
All right, people. So welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. First thing I want to talk about, we kind of touched on this before. This was about Finland officially joining NATO, yeah? So now, obviously, the Biden administration, they're trying to get Sweden on board, right? Because Sweden pretty much, like Finland, abandoned their neutral stance. They're now trying to side with NATO against Russia. They didn't want to be, sitting on the fence and whatnot. But to join NATO, you need everyone who's part of NATO to be like, look, we want you to be part of us, right? And this is where the issue is. So Sweden have got two hurdles to kind of get over. And this is the situation with Turkey, where the president is basically saying, you need to extradite certain guys from your country, innit? Because these are like pretty much terrorists, like in his eyes anyway. And Bear them supported a 2016 coup against him, right? Obviously, Sweden are kind of fighting against that. They don't really want to do that. But again, the Turkish president isn't really trying to back down from that. Hungary as well, they kind of got their own grievances as well with Sweden. And they're pretty much saying, because of how they were talking reckless before, saying how Hungary is corrupt and whatnot, they kind of got this continuing gripe with Sweden. And so those are the two countries right now that are kind of making it difficult for them to join NATO. But again, I'll give you updates on that if, they kind of back down. Also, there's been 8 days, further 8 days, I should say, of industrial action, which has been announced for security staff and passport workers. So May is going to be pretty disruptive, man, for people who need to basically get their passport sorted or pretty much travel or whatever. Also, it's been planned around the whole coronation as well. So that's going to be causing trouble as well for people trying to get into the country to celebrate the whole coronation of King Charles and whatnot. I know, Esther, you're going to be at Buckingham Palace and whatnot, innit? Of course.
Front and centre.
All right, cool. And the last thing I want to talk about briefly is KitKat, man. So Nestle, I've been told they need to kind of cut the proportion of unhealthy food that they sell. And they need to pretty much play their part in the whole global health situation, innit? I'm not too sure how you can tell a company to kind of, do that type of stuff, innit? But I guess this is what they're doing, innit? So the investor group Share Action said 40% of Nestle's sales of everyday foods in the UK were either high in salt, sugar, or fat. 40%. So they're pretty much being urged to be like, look, guys, if you pretty much want to be able to do what you're doing in every country, all those countries who are kind of on board in this particular agenda are saying, look, cut it down, man. This is too much, innit? So I'm not too sure how this is going to affect sales. But yeah, we'll see. Because I'm pretty sure the amount of sugar content and salt content in certain foods is linked to how much they make in it, the income. Because it's addictive. You know what I'm saying? So if they cut it down, we'll see, innit? But yeah, that's pretty much it for the People's Journal.
Thank you. Headlines?
Nah.
You just love a worker joke today, don't you?
He's done that twice now, innit? All right.
Hold up.
This one.
Yeah, that one. All right. So we have an interview today, and I love you when I see. Thank you, Brent. I love it when I see black people in industries that you wouldn't necessarily, I guess, industries that we wouldn't necessarily see ourselves in. But we have someone with us today who has is that line you call it?
What do you call that line?
A brand. Let's call it a brand.
Yeah, so let's go brand.
Let's go brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a rum brand.
Yes.
I think that's absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Good morning, Uche.
Thank you. That's not actually my name, but my name's that's the name of the actual brand. My name's
Okay.
Frank. Yeah.
What's your name? Frank.
Frank.
Okay, lovely. It's lovely to meet you.
So
How are
what's
you?
Uche mean?
Uche is Igbo abbreviation of Ukechiku, which means God's will. Okay. So it's got quite a lot of meaning behind the name. It's sort of the name after my business partner's younger brother, who sort of sadly passed away. So it's a bit of a testament to him. So it's not just a random name you sort of plucked out of nowhere. There's actually some sort of meaning.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Beautiful, yeah, man.
Oh, that is very beautiful. That's very wholesome.
Don't get me wrong, a lot of people struggle to pronounce it. We get like Uch or Uchi, which is quite frustrating, but it's actually Uche.
Uche.
Yeah, it's Uche.
Yes.
I knew that to be fair because I'm Nigerian.
There we go.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're Nigerian as well?
I am Nigerian, yes.
Igbo as well?
I am Igbo.
Okay. Big up Igbos.
So 2 out of 3. I'll take that, you know? I'll take what I can get.
Slander.
Boy, don't talk about me slandering men. But that's lovely. Well, thank you for coming on the show. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I've been up for quite a while, so I'm like fully alert to today. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're morning people here, aren't we?
Yes.
Well, you would think so, innit?
Well, would you let's just tell us a bit about yourself, please?
Personally, so I've worked in the alcohol industry for about 12 years.
Sick.
Yeah, working on brands for a bigger company. So I guess that's why I've always had like the intuition to do something like this at some point in my sort of life.
Okay.
But yeah, I was just very fortunate to have 2 other friends who were sort of keen on doing the same thing as well. So
Okay,
it sort of made sense.
that's sick. How did you start off in the industry?
I started in like an accounts position, and I sort of gradually worked my way up to the position I'm currently in. Don't get me wrong, I've sort of explored other opportunities at points, but it hasn't really worked out for me, so I'm still in the industry at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
So your business partners as well, were they part of the industry as well?
No, one of them is a marketing sort of guru type thing, but he's very sort of good at digital marketing and websites and all that sort of jazz. And another one of my colleagues is really good at the sort of another sort of IT realm. I always forget what he actually does for a living, but it's quite relevant to what we do.
Okay.
But it's very sort of deep into sort of IT. He'll hate me for not remembering, but
It's so difficult to know your friends' jobs. I'll be honest, I don't know a lot of my friends'
It
jobs.
shouldn't be difficult when you're saying it's so important to what you're doing. Like, it shouldn't be difficult to remember at all.
It's something to do with people.
You know what? Forget it.
Internet and websites. It's something like
Nah, I'm honest, your
There
friends
you
using
go.
this against you. You're making it worse.
He's probably watching this right now.
It's
Thinking,
asking
"Oh,
people,
actually,
it's asking
people,
people."
websites, user research. That's it. User research.
Okay.
It's quite important, guys.
It's very important.
No, it's true.
It's actually a very important thing.
so
But I just totally
vital to your
forgot about. My mind just went blank at that moment. I was like, IT people, what is it? But yeah, user research.
That is so funny.
Obviously, like you said, you working like in accounts in the alcohol industry. Yeah.
Yeah, originally when I joined the business, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you kind of transition into actually saying I want to be the producer?
So in my role, I was sort of in accounts, and then I got presented the operational manager role, which sort of put me in responsibility for bringing new brands to life. Like in my
Okay.
current company, they'll give us an idea or have an idea as to what we want to bring to market, and it'll be my job to sort of liaise with producers and marketers to try and bring that product to life. So it's very sort of similar to what I've done outside of my current role with Uche. So it's really sort of helped me along to really bring the product to market.
Okay. And so your business partners kind of just saw it as a good investment opportunity as well, or
Well, it sort of came about because one of my business partners, who's very keen on, or used to be very keen on going to nightclubs and doing bottle service, he'd all the bottles, and he's a rum fan. But a lot of the time they bring over things like Captain Morgan, which
Okay.
wasn't terribly representative of him. Instead of things like Grey Goose and Belvedere and Ciroc, they'd rock over with Captain Morgan, and he looked at it and was like, well, this is not something that sort of fits my personality. So it was sort of his idea to think, oh, let's create something that better fit us as a culture, as opposed to the rums out there would typically have pictures of pirates and colonialism. We wanted something that really sort of stripped all that back and just presented a liquid that was just rum with no sort of ancestry or historical ties to, I don't know, like the negativity that you sort of see
100%.
on rum bottles that we sort of buy and consume. So yeah.
So in terms of like, I guess the studying behind what goes into actually coming up with the right like concoction, right? Like how difficult is that?
It was very difficult. We had to we based it on a rum from Bermuda, Barbados. I'm terrible today, honestly. And we based it on a
your
rum.
partners are looking at you
I'm
like, what?
struggling today. No, but we based it on a rum that one of my business partners went abroad, brought it back. We thought it was nice, but we thought we could do something different with it.
Okay.
So we then sort of worked with a distillery in the UK to produce it, and we told them what we wanted. Took about 18 months to really sort of come to the right flavour and sort of taste and profile that we were looking for. So it was quite a long-winded process. But yeah, we think we sort of created something that a lot of people like. A lot of people try it, they like it, and you know, I'd say like every 1 in 4 people buy a bottle or buy something from us once they've tried it. So yeah, it's a pretty good product.
So where are you kind of like, how are you marketing? How are you doing your whole field research and everything?
In terms of marketing, we sort of attend a lot of sort of food festivals.
Okay.
Sort of black culture market, like for example, there's a black culture market in Brixton, and we've been there, you know, every couple of months since August. We go there, people try it, they love it, they buy it. Yeah, I think people definitely sort of see something in the product that sort of they can sort of resonate with. Like I said, sort of going back to the whole Captain Morgan thing. Again, it's not something I would look at and think, oh, that's me. So I wouldn't typically want to buy that.
Yeah.
Plus, at the same time, I'm not a heavy rum drinker.
Okay.
So we want to create something that if you had a little bit of a sweet tooth, you could still sort of appreciate it. Because I think rum is either at the spectrum of your seasoned rum drinker and like things like, I don't know, I can't think of the rum right now, but there's a rum, what's that rum in the Caribbean, which everyone loves, they always put into punch, yes. If you're a seasoned rum drinker, you might have that with like a splash or something. It's a bit harsh for me, but at the same time, we wanted to create something that you could just sort of potentially sip with like a bit of ice. And that's what we sort of created.
A bit of me.
Yeah, just like, you know, a bit of ice, a bit of Uche. Uche no chase is our sort of tagline. And yeah, it's definitely something that people really like, you know, when they try it. So yeah.
Is it like a Malibu type thing?
Everyone says that. It's not like a Malibu type drink. It's coconut flavored.
Okay.
But Malibu is like 21%. Ours is like 37.5.
Okay,
So it's
this
nearly
is
double the
serious.
strength.
Malibu's 21%. It's
21,
juice to me,
22.
you know.
Yeah, it's light. It's very, very
Very
light.
light.
Whereas ours is like 37.5%, and it's more refined. It's more of like a premium version of a coconut flavored rum, as opposed to Malibu, which is, I'm not going to sort of bad enough another brand, but it's just not. It's not mine. It's not my cup of tea.
Quality.
Yeah. I like that. I love that the thinking that went behind like the taste and the flavor and how it is, because I don't like alcohol that grieves me in the throat. Like I just think, why are you so aggressive with it? Like I like nice tasting alcohol, like sweet, and that's my vibe.
Yeah.
That's really cool. How did you guys agree to like even? Are you gonna do more flavors actually?
We are planning to do at some point in the future, probably do like a spiced, and we're probably going to do another flavor. Just we haven't decided what flavor that's going to be just yet. But at some point in the future, we want to have at least a line of maybe 2, 3, 4 products. But yeah, we only launched in May last year, so it's still relatively early
that's
days.
amazing.
So yeah, considering what we started on from last year to where we are now, we've sort of come quite a long way.
So launch as in that's when you've put it out to sell. Because you said it was 18 months.
Yeah, we started in lockdown. It was sort of like a lockdown thing where you sort of meet up every Monday, sit down for like 3 hours, go over the whole thing, sort of speak to suppliers. As you can imagine, during lockdown is probably
It's difficult.
difficult because people, you know, the world was sort of shut down. So getting contacts and getting people to actually send things over, and it was quite a lengthy process. But we got there in the end.
So once you got your liquor now, yeah, how do you just? What do you do? Like you got it, you made it up, you got your bottles, you got a bare of it. I don't know, factories, and you're saying you want to sell it now. What are you doing? You're knocking at the off license. You're going off license, door to door. You're going clubs, pubs. Like, how do you decide you're going to sell your alcohol?
Literally, that's what one of my other business partners, Simeon, does. He's got amazing talent of sort of like talking to people and sort of bringing people on board. And he goes off licenses, has conversations with them. They try the product and they decide to sort of list the product. Similar to nightclubs, like we were in a nightclub called 10 in London. So he went in there, spoke to the bar manager, tried the product, and they absolutely loved it. But I think at the moment, with the alcohol industry is that you need to get it out to as many people as possible. You need to get them to try it, because once they try it, they'll buy it. Whereas if you can't just go straight to a nightclub, because chances are if you go to a nightclub, there you go, up there, thank you.
Nice to see it.
Yeah, but yeah, chances are if you go to a nightclub, you see the bottle behind the bar, you're not really going to take the risk and try something new. You kind of need to like try it outside of a nightclub environment. Remember the brand. Remember, oh shit. Sorry, I don't know if I'm not sorry. No, sorry.
Oh, no, you are.
But yeah, oh yeah.
Just can't say
It's not
the
the N-word.
Okay,
Because then you owe us £2.
Oh wow. I can't see how that would have cropped up in conversation.
No, you
I
owe us
appreciate
rum
that.
actually.
I appreciate that, thank you. Yeah, you know, we're trying to sort of get out to as many people as possible. Hence why we're doing things like Taste of London. We're doing like Pub in the Park. We're doing like loads of sort of food festivals all around the country this year, just to like get it out to as many people to try it, and hopefully sort of like come back later on and buy it. So yeah.
That bottle is absolutely. I think that's such a beautiful bottle.
Thank you. My business partner Simeon had this sort of concept of doing something completely different from any rum out there.
Yeah, because it looks like champagne.
There we go. You know, like similar to like when you see things like Ciroc, Grey Goose, all
Yeah.
those bottles are like tall. They've got like frosted glass. You don't really get that with rum. So we wanted to do something that was premium and luxury all at the same time.
You know, what's so mad. When I saw the bottle, I actually briefly forgot it was rum until you said it just now, and I was like, oh yes.
Yeah.
I think that's so beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah.
Did you do like research into what would grab people's attention, that kind of research?
I think it was quite obvious to us that I think what the research we did is that we looked at what was in the rum market currently.
Okay, yeah.
And like I might have said earlier on, like a lot of the bottles there are short, stumpy, pictures of pirates, pictures of
Yeah. They look like
beaches.
stickers ICT students did.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think there's been much innovation in the rum sort of market for a long period of time. So we wanted to do something completely different than that. We sort of ripped up like the playbook of traditional rums and thought, you know, let's do something like Belvedere or Grey Goose would do, but for like a rum, but for us as well. So yeah.
That is beautiful. That's a
Thank you.
lovely
That's
bottle.
what normally sort of gets people's attention. They love the bottle, then they come over to try it, and like I said,
And they love it too.
there we go. You know, so it's just trying to get it out there to as many people as possible to try it and see if they like it.
Did you work with a discount code?
Did I? Sorry.
Did you work with a discount code? Because a couple of people are asking if there's a discount code.
Oh, walk in here.
Yes.
Did you
And it should
walk with
support-
it? He said.
No, I've got put camera on me. Put camera on me. Support black businesses and support black men because you guys never slander. You never slander black men. So
Right.
support them. You be really support them. You know I've been waiting. You know I've been waiting. I've got more to come. Support a black business and support black men and pay full price, including delivery. There we go. Show your support.
In answer to Brent's question, no, I didn't come with a discount code today.
That's all right,
So-
babes. They support men. You ain't got to worry about this discount code. They
Appreciate
support men. Don't you worry about it.
What I also say is that at some point we're going to sort of donate a certain percentage of our profits to a certain charity. Like I said, I didn't sort of go into too much detail about this earlier on, but the person it was named after did a lot of community work for young sort of teenagers to sort of keep them off the streets.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So that's something we're going to do similarly at some point in the future. So yeah.
Sick.
again,
Exactly. So start donating.
You know, you got a good product, and you know, like I said, it's more than just a regular brand. Because when you look at a lot of the rum brands out there, they're owned by sort of big conglomerates. There's not really many sort of black-owned sort of alcohol distributors out there. So we're just really trying to make a imprint in a huge market, and we're just.
I do think it's beautiful. Like I said at the start, like I love when black people don't, like I see black people in industries that I wouldn't have assumed. That workspace, we haven't been made to feel comfortable that we can have spaces in those industries. And I think this is absolutely amazing.
Most definitely. I think a lot of people get put off by, they have the idea of they want to create their own alcohol, their own brand, but there's a lot of work that sort of goes on behind it. Like, you know, it's not just like, you know, it's one of the most regulated industries in the UK, purely because of the tax implications, purely because you've got to pay so much tax on a product. They sort of like rigorously make you sort of jump through hurdles to be able to even be in a position to create a product. So, you know, it can be done. I just think sometimes people just need to sort of take that risk and do some research and just do it, you know. And I think a lot of other black people need to sort of have that sort of idea when it comes to any sort of products or project. You know, don't sort of be limited by the things that you traditionally see that we've done.
This is it.
You know, because when I was sort of growing up, I had the idea of doing like a t-shirt idea. Everyone sort of does t-shirts. No disrespect to people that do t-shirts, but it's quite an easy thing to get into. But there's so many different other realms that we can sort of go down if we really wanted to try. So yeah.
It's amazing.
In terms of like, obviously, you guys, this is a black business, right? Is that something that was kind of a motivating factor for you guys to be like, look, let's keep it black?
Yeah. I think, like I said, we want to try and keep it as black owned for as long as possible.
Cool.
You know, we've had like loads of people approach us in regards to investments and this and that, but at the same time, we're very sort of keen on making it something that we curate for us, but at the same time, whatever we sort of reap, any sort of rewards that we get can be shared amongst other individuals like ourselves, as opposed to just going to any sort of regular person that comes with us with a ton of money. We'd want sort of other people that buy into us as a brand and willing to sort of like invest in us, because it's not just a product, it's about the meaning behind it, the sort of like the direction that we're trying to take in terms of sort of broadening the horizons of the black sort of entrepreneurial community. So it's definitely something that was key to us when we sort of started this.
I ask people like these questions like in terms of like you said, the entrepreneurial community or like amongst black people, But why is that particularly like important to you guys? Do you see it like, I don't want to put words into your mouth, but is there a link to how, I guess, black people are kind of seen in society, do you think? Ownership?
Yeah, I think, I don't know, for me personally, I've always worked for someone. And I don't really like the idea of working for an employer.
Yeah.
I've always wanted, I've always sort of looked to like do something on my own so I can also sort of distribute whatever I make back to communities or things that I care about. And I definitely feel like within the black community growing up, it wasn't really something that I thought was possible. But I think in the sort of day and age whereby you've got the internet and you're not sort of restricted by contacts or suppliers, if you've got an idea, you can go on there and sort of do it. You don't necessarily need like big bucks behind it. Whereas growing up, I used to think that that's what you needed, like lots of money to like create something of your own from scratch. But all you really need is an idea, a good idea, may I say, and a degree of money, and that's all you really need. And I definitely feel, sort of going back to the black community, we don't really sort of take those risks. And maybe it's because we don't have much, so we're not really, and that's a massive generalization, but we don't really come from a great deal of wealth. We're not necessarily willing to risk what we do have on an idea that's not guaranteed. But like I said, if you don't take the risk, you're not going to get the reward. So again, it's just something that I think was quite important to me personally. Yeah.
Have you found that like a lot of black people on trying the product, on hearing what you guys are doing, are fully like, I want to support this?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, like, you know, even when you go to things like Black Culture Market, there's definitely been a couple of occasions where people come up to us straight away and be like, I love the product, I want to invest. I'm like, whoa. So that literally just started here. Thank you, appreciate the love for it. But, you know, it's still early days for us, and, you know, we've got a plan in terms of what we want to try and achieve before we can even start contemplating those things. But yeah, you know, like I said, primarily it's a product that is founded by three black individuals. It's got roots sort of like within my culture, which is obviously Nigerian. My business partners are from the Caribbean. So we all grew up in... I know, right? Nothing for Nigerian, but Caribbean. You know, it's fine. Yeah, we've got, you know, we all grew up in London. So there's so many different elements of it that go into this product. It's not just, like I said, a random product. It's our sort of backgrounds, multicultural, Afro-Caribbean, London. And I guess that's something we're quite keen on keeping as long as possible.
You know, there's certain images, certain, how do I put this? You know, for example, like Louis Vuitton back in the day, they may want their clientele to kind of look a particular way, right? And wear their clothes, their accessories, right? Would you feel some type of way if, like, you saw people in Carnival kind of just holding bottles of Uche, just doing this?
You know what? It's an interesting point. I think we can't really restrict how people want to choose to consume the product, you know. As long as people are enjoying it in whatever sort of environment they want to enjoy it, fair play to them. Don't get me wrong, I don't think we're going to do an advert similar to what you sort of described there, someone at Carnival sipping it from the bottle, but at the same time, if that's how people choose to drink it, more fair, you know, more power to them, you know. It is a drink that you can have at home, at a barbecue, you can go to a nightclub and consume it, or you can take it down to Carnival and stunt with it. You know, it's completely up to you. You know.
So what if a different demographic got hold of it that you wasn't planning for? Like, look at Brent, he's all done.
I'm saying, if he was holding it then, that's promotion, that's marketing.
It's like I said, we can't.
I was going to say that bottle is so banging, I can actually, I want to see the boys on the gram stunting with it. I think it's really nice. Yeah. I've seen them stunt with, they shouldn't stunt with. So you pick up the right things.
What's the price of it?
$35.99.
Okay.
Oh, that's gone.
$35.99. But in answer to your question, I haven't got any sort of, if anyone wants to try any demographic of any age, it's completely up to them. Yeah. Like I said, it's black owned, but at the same time, if you're like a 50-year-old middle-aged woman from Scarborough and you enjoy it, more power to you.
Yeah,
you know, that people are like, what, 2%, 3% of the UK?
Exactly.
Yeah, we
can't just sort of...
That can not be your only market.
Demographic.
What if the homeless got hold of it and it was like white lightning or something? And just homeless people everywhere. You just see homeless people post up with Uche. You'd be pissed. What are you talking about? Stop lying.
That's very true, actually. I then would have to ask, how on earth did you get a bottle of Uche? I need to then start speaking to our suppliers and be like, are you just doing a free giveaway here? What's the deal? Are you got security measures? Are people robbing bottles of Uche from your shelves? What's going on here? But you're right, there are. But then again, as long as they're enjoying it,
yeah, if the money's rolling in, boy.
Exactly. As long as paying for it, then each their own. I don't feel like we're sort of like ruling out anyone that appreciates it, because, like I said, 2% or 3% of the population. Yeah. You know, I don't think any business is going to be truly global if you're only catering to a small demographic.
Facts.
You're not breaking even.
No. So, yeah.
Have you? I know, obviously, like you just said, you just started, yeah. But in terms of like, I guess the next country, the next place to kind of push this, yeah, where would that be?
Funny enough, I think Nigeria itself.
Okay. Where the horns, Brent?
I don't know horns. I'll take a clap.
0.2 seconds.
All right, brief clap. I'll take that.
Lackluster, innit?
I definitely feel like I haven't been to Nigeria for a long time, so I've never really experienced the nightclub scene over there or like the nightlife
Obviously.
scene in general. But from what I hear, people could go out there. If you've got money, they love to sort of show off and stunt. And I definitely feel like this
is on
would
brand for it.
completely be the right sort of target demographic over there.
That's it.
That's something I guess we're going to try and look into long term. It's quite a tricky thing, sort of exporting things like this, but definitely at some point, it's something we want to consider.
I think it's great. I think it's beautiful aesthetics. Like I can just imagine it everywhere.
Yeah.
Sick.
Thank you.
This question's maybe a bit of a logistics type thing, yeah. But if it was a case of you exporting to Nigeria, would you have to set up a business in Nigeria too?
What we'd have to have is an importer. Like they've got alcohol importers in Nigeria, who I imagine would sort of import like big brands from like Europe, like things like Grey Goose, Moe, anything that, and we just have to sort of liaise with them, and they'd have to sort of like order it from us, and we'll just sort of ship it over there.
Okay.
To be fair, now thinking about it, it's not that tricky a thing to do. I guess we just haven't. That's not really our main focus at the moment. But at some point in the future, I guess that's something we'll consider.
Yeah, to be fair, you're new. You're not even a year old yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, like in terms of like, I guess your short-term goals, what are some of the main things? Like, we need to take this off and that.
Short-term goals. So last year I think we did like 20 events.
Okay.
I.e. we sort of went to 20 different markets or 20 different sort of festival type things. And this year we're trying to do, I think, 100.
Sick.
So we're trying to do 5 times as many as we did last year. And like I said earlier on, we need to try and get out in front of as many people as possible. So that's what we're going to try and focus on this year. Another thing would be to potentially collab with someone that we feel would resonate with the brand. I guess, with alcohol and with social media in itself, if you have the right person sort of on social, sort of screaming about a product, telling you how amazing it is, chances are people would be like, oh, you know
Get
what?
influenced.
I'm gonna have a little try of that. But again, it's about finding that right person who sort of buys into what we're trying to do and isn't really in it just for the money. They're in it to like expand
That's key.
us and sort of buy into what we're trying to achieve. It's not just give us like 10 grand and we'll post something. No, it's about following us on this journey, and hopefully all of us will sort of reap the rewards of what we're trying to achieve.
I love that you said that. I don't think enough people think about that. They never think about the person person has to be in line with your brand, and it has to come across because that's what will make people buy into it as well.
Yeah.
If it seems very authentic and genuine, if it just seems like it's just a check for them, and if Bacardi Messina would have done the same thing, that's the thing. So I love the fact that you're thinking that. That's very, very important.
Most definitely.
Sick.
So in terms of long-term goals, what are you thinking?
Long-term goals.
Yes,
I think passion fruit, by the way. I'm just going to throw that out
Passion
there.
fruit's a good shout.
Passion
Passion fruit's a
fruit.
good shout. I guess long-term goals, we would continue to produce a number of flavors. We would be in like a number of your sort of high street chains, like the Tesco's of this world, Waitrose, Asda, Sainsbury's, them sort of establishments. And we'd be a brand that people would sort of recognise and be able to pronounce correctly at first glance. I think those are like the long-term aims. And also, like I said, getting back to the sort of charity side of it, we want to sort of be behind initiatives to, firstly, do things to help younger teenage black people to do something positive.
Yeah.
But also, potentially, maybe on the flip side of it, do something entrepreneurial amongst them and potentially get behind any sort of business ideas that they might have. Similar to like Dragon's Den, but maybe something that, you've got an idea, feel free to sort of like reach out to us.
Yeah.
We're not going to say we're going to sort of back every idea, but if you've got a good idea, we'd like to sort of be in a position to sort of help you achieve
with
it.
that.
So I guess that's another
sick.
one of the long-term goals.
Like you said, trying to get into like, I guess, long-term Tesco, Sainsbury's, them type of places, If like today, like somebody watching this was like, you know what, I want this in Tesco. Like, could you do that? How's scaling? Like, how difficult is that?
We could probably do it. I think with any sort of like smaller brand, they wouldn't sort of expect us to be in all 1,000 Tesco stores.
Yeah.
They'll traditionally sort of get us to like, I don't know, list in maybe a region, so maybe like 4 or 5, 10 of their biggest stores. And that's something we could probably do like in weeks. If it was to like really ramp up to like all Tesco's, that's definitely something will take a little bit longer. But yeah, it's not completely out of the realms of possibility.
On your website, I saw like you've got like a special thingy.
Yes.
All right, can you explain that?
Okay, so when we first produced it, we decided to select the first 100 bottles that we ever produced, and we've put it into a sort of gift box with a certificate to sort of say this is one of the first ever bottles, first 100 bottles of Uche ever produced. And it's available for people to sort of buy and keep and potentially seek as like some sort of investment. Because sometimes with alcohol, a lot of times with alcohol actually, if you buy something, buy a product, especially one of the first ones ever, and sort of keep it for a significant amount of time, it can be worth something later on down the line. So yeah, we have that online for people to sort of buy and maybe just give to people as presents. Not necessarily consume, because it's $149.99, so it's not something you can buy a regular bottle, it's exactly the same taste, but this one just happens to be one of the first 100 ever produced. So yeah, it's just something we've got on there for people to really sort of invest in and sort of take advantage of while we've got stock.
So each one's like numbered as well?
Yep, each one's numbered, each one comes with a certificate signed by me and my 2 business partners to sort of confirm this is one of the first 100.
That's sick, man. I was going to ask you before we wrap up, tell us something nobody knows about yourself, and even some of your business partners too, or Uche as a brand.
Wow, that's a pretty deep question. Something that I don't know how to ride a bike.
What?
I don't know how to ride a bike.
I can say why.
My dad tried to teach me when I was younger, but he tried to teach me when I was 8 or 7 on like an adult bike.
Okay.
And I must have dropped a couple of times. I was like, this isn't for me. Like, I haven't, normally people start when you're younger with stabilizers. But I graduated straight to like an adult bike.
Like a tricycle.
And I was like, this isn't for me. So after that point, I just sort of...
See, African parents, they're going to push you, boy.
My son with the bike with no stabilizers.
Really?
You can ride that.
Serious?
Oh, wow.
He's free.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Good to know.
Annoying.
The annoying thing is, I feel like I'm at an age where I can't even like go back to a bike with stabilizers. So I feel like I've just got
You definitely can't. You have to. It's one of those ones where, I'll be honest, lockdown is when you should have learned.
That fear of balancing as an adult is long. I think as a kid you don't think about it.
You don't think about fear.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But trying to balance on a bike as an adult,
when you're aware that you can drop to the sand, you can break an arm, and I've got work and I've got things
tough,
to do.
innit?
It's difficult.
Yeah,
fear is why kids, fear is what holds a lot of adults back from so much.
Yeah.
That knowledge of fear.
Most definitely. I think especially when you're young, you fall over, you might be able to get up and walk it off. But if I fall over now, I know for a fact it's going to help.
Going to the GP.
I'll be like this for like a week, 2 weeks, a month. I have to take time off work. It's just, I don't need to ride a bike that much. I drive, it's fine. I can walk, public transport, it's all good.
For you.
And what's I guess, a big life lesson?
A life lesson? Yeah. If you've got an idea, and like I said, if it's a relatively good idea, do it. I've always had ideas, but if it wasn't for the drive of my business partner, Simeon, who was literally like the engine of this project, he would like make us meet up every Monday religiously. We've got to do this, we've got to do this, we've got to do this. And if it wasn't his drive as like the engine of the group, we probably wouldn't be where we are.
Yeah.
So I feel like fear definitely stops a lot of people from achieving their dreams.
Yeah. So
if you've got an idea, just do it. Don't get me wrong, there's some ideas that are terrible and no one should ever follow through on.
Yeah.
But if you genuinely think something will work, just don't let anything hold you back, because the worst thing is you see someone else do it and you'll be like, oh, should have done that myself.
Yeah, 100%.
That's happened to me a few times.
Because a lot of the time, obviously I'm definitely not belittling racism and other factors like this, But I guess the main thing I'm asking here is, I guess, us as individuals or whatever, coming together, have an idea and doing whatever it takes, pretty much. Because I think that's the ultimate thing, right?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
That black screen was Mark's just switching off Emmanuel's camera.
It was an accident.
Can you imagine?
I tried to tell you, I thought I heard something go. I wasn't sure. I thought I heard something go.
Did you put it back in?
It's back.
Yeah.
Back.
Do you know, it's funny you say that, because I definitely feel like there's certain communities that if a group of them come together, if someone has an idea, a lot of other communities would all rally around and be like, you know what, we don't have to go banks. Let's all pool our resources together and support this individual, because this is what we do within our community. I don't think it's necessarily as strong in the black community as it could be.
Yeah.
But that's definitely something I think we could benefit more of.
100%. Well, thank you for coming, man.
Yes, thank
Thank
you
you
so much
so
for
much
coming.
for having me.
And
Much appreciated.
I look forward to seeing it everywhere.
100%.
It's absolutely amazing. What
Great
you're doing.
idea, great product.
Thank you.
Honestly.
Yeah, I got an event
Great
coming up,
team.
so if you want to sponsor it with some Uche,
Interesting.
that'd be good.
Yeah, please let's talk about that. I've got some bottles for you guys anyway to go away and
thank
try
you.
and hopefully appreciate it. It's vegan friendly, by the way.
This is a great guy right now. man. He's a great guy.
You know what? He's a great guest. He's a great guest. Came in here, brought us gifts, and a
We were,
catered to the one
hoping.
vegan.
Exactly.
We were hoping he wasn't gonna flop.
No.
I saw
made
one
sure.
bottle and I thought,
No. I've got to bring something for you guys to appreciate. I can't be sitting there talking about it for like 15 minutes of giving you a feeling to go away and try it. So,
I love it.
Thank you.
Nigerian manners.
Thank
that's
you.
what I'm saying. No animals were harmed, guys.
In the what?
In the making, it's vegan
But
friendly.
Sir. Please. I was thinking, what are you talking about? But it is amazing. Thank you for joining us, and we
thank you
wish
very
you the
much.
best with everything.
Thank you.
And yes, we'll be seeing your bottles everywhere. It's so beautiful that I don't see it not doing well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
big
no,
facts.
definitely. That's definitely what we think as well. So yeah, it's nice to hear other people think the same thing.
Yeah, the branding is elite.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like
Thank you
I
very much.
proper. I'm gonna take it home and I'm gonna make sure my family know not to open it because I feel like I just want to keep it so precious. I mean, but yeah,
Thank you very much.
yeah. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Right, what we do next? Headlines.
Yep.
Let's do it.
All right. So our next headline takes us all the way to Jamaica.
Isn't Iman's camera working? Oh.
Yes.
What's going on here?
Takes us to Jamaica, where Mocha, which is the major.
You don't even know what the news.
That was mad.
Trigger
That was
warning.
mad.
You don't even know.
That was bad.
Yeah. Could have been a kidnapping.
Well, it's fraud.
It's fraud. Do the horn again.
Yeah, man.
Listen to Nigeria this time.
You know what I'm saying?
That's not Nigeria.
Let me see.
Hey, Jamaica's diversifying. So, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency, MOCA, on Wednesday arrested and charged 3 men in connection with a $222 million fraud racket committed at the INSPORTS between 2011 and 2017. The men in question are popular party promoters Andrew Wright, Rudolph Barnes, and O'Neill Hope. Mocha said they are alleged to have been part of a team of former INSPORTS employees who wrote, signed, and cashed fraudulent checks for payees who were neither employees nor contracted workers of the entity. The three have been charged with various offences, including conspiracy to defraud, acquisition, use and possession of criminal property, engaging in transactions involving criminal property, and larceny as a servant. Next headline. Seems there's going to be some aggressive changes set for Disney. So a new board, appointed by Governor Ron DeSantis on Wednesday, started outlining an aggressive plan to make changes to a district that oversees Walt Disney World operations, which is a move that is part of a broader political fight that the company is having with the governor, Ron DeSantis, who we spoke about on the show as well. So the 5-person board appointed by Ron DeSantis, each of whom is a political ally, outlines steps that it plans on taking in the future to exert more government oversight over the entertainment giant. Disney sparked a fight with DeSantis, is where it all started from, in March of last year, after it issued a statement opposing legislation championed by the governor that aimed to ban the talk of sexual orientation or gender identity in classrooms up to and until, third grade. DeSantis responded by proposing the removal of Disney's long-held self-governing status, but ultimately he left it in place. He instead removed the board overseeing the Reedy Creek Improvement District, which is the technical name for the district that oversees much of the company's operations, and he replaced them with political supporters. The district has since been renamed the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District. And the last headline, it's a bit of some sad news here, man, and it seems to be a very ongoing issue that's happening in Tunisia. And basically, in many Tunisian houses, no water is coming from the tap, as authorities have decided to cut the water supply during the night since March 31st. The water distribution company announced, among other measures, a ban on using drinking water for irrigation outside of Tunis, which is the capital of Tunisia, and on watering green areas within the city. According to the Tunisian Water Observatory, the water levels in the dams have decreased by 60 to 80%, and some other dams have dropped by 100%, especially in the central or southern regions of Tunisia. Tunisian dams are witnessing unprecedented low water levels. The water level in the Hammam Dam in the town of Menzel Tamim has dropped by 70%, according to a member of the Environmental Association in Menzel Tamim. Tunisia, which is in its 5th consecutive year of drought, will experience water cuts until September of 2023. And that's it for the headlines.
Thank you. Let's get into the reaction.
All right, people. So welcome to the reaction, where Margs has left the building. No, but Margs had to do some serious stuff, so he'll be back, obviously, to give you a proper rundown of the reaction tomorrow. But just to, I guess, give a recap of what happened yesterday. Erling Haaland scored his 48th goal of the season as Manchester City beat Bayern Munich 4-1 on aggregate to set up another Champions League semi-final showdown with Real Madrid. Holding a commanding 3-0 lead from the first leg, City weathered an early storm in Germany before Haaland's composed finish in the 57th minute effectively confirmed his side's place in the last four for a third year in a row. Man City is just killing it all over the place, man. So yeah, Man City is the only English club at this stage, isn't it, Brent?
Yeah, Chelsea's out now.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess they're gonna. Yeah, they're looking at the rest of the competition. I think Man City's gonna win this, man. But yeah. Anyway, on to boxing news and Conor Benn. Obviously, I've been highly critical of Conor Benn. Yeah, to be fair to him. Yeah, but I feel like it's kind of warranted. To be fair, especially as I felt as though the British Boxing Board of Control weren't really doing much, and UKAD as well. But he's basically been provisionally suspended by UKAD, which is the UK Anti-Doping Agency. So, like we spoke about before, Conor Benn, who's 26, he failed 2 voluntary drug tests last year, and UKAD and the British Board of Control, British Boxing Board of Control, were investigating the results and stuff, innit? But there was all this back and forth about whether he did it or not, whether it was intentional. He gave up his license so that he couldn't get banned. He was like, okay, you know what, I can fight outside of the country. But all of this type of stuff was happening, innit? And he wasn't officially banned. Anyway, like I said, as of a couple of days ago, he's been provisionally suspended by UKAD. In fact, it was reported a couple of days ago, but he was actually provisionally suspended on the 15th of March. Ben's obviously accused UKAD of leaking the news and says that obviously he wants to remain free to fight. Sorry, he is free to fight outside of the UK. Obviously, UKAD and the British Board of Control can't block anything outside of the UK, innit? But they can recommend to those boards not to, let him fight, which is pretty much what it looks like they want to be doing. And the last thing I want to talk about is the big fight that's going to be happening on the weekend, man, between Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. I'll talk about this a bit more tomorrow, but I just wanted to say both of them were on Instagram Live on Monday evening, and they both agreed to put their entire purse on the line. A lot of the time, boxers obviously gassing it, talk about, yeah, they're going to win this, that, and the third, but no one's really willing to put their entire purse on the line. But, hey, they did it live. So if anyone does want to do it, like, we'll see who the liar is, innit? But again, I'll go into this a bit more detail tomorrow. But I believe Tank is going to be victorious, man. I hope he is anyway. I hope he knocks that boy out, to be fair. But yeah. Oh, pardon me, sorry. One more thing. Just want to say an RIP to the former NFL star Chris Smith, who passed away, man. He was only 31. He was a former defensive lineman for the Cleveland Browns. He spent 8 years in the NFL, and he played for multiple teams, including the Jackson Jaguars, the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Las Vegas Raiders. His cause of death is not known at the moment, or at least hasn't been broadcasted yet. But there's been loads of tributes on social media and stuff, man. But RIP to him. Send some prayers to him and his family. And that's it for the reaction, guys.
All right, let's get into our outro. All right. As always, thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, do all that great stuff. Also, big up our guest who is now left, but big up Frank and his team.
Yeah, big up
Uche Rum. Yep, Uche Rum. Check it out. Buy the rum. It's all sick.
Support the thing, guys.
Support it. He's
Black
love
businesses,
supporting
man.
black men so much. Support it. If If you would like to send voice notes and text in, the number is 075 6484 1073. You can also follow us on our social media platforms, The Day After TNB. I haven't done that in a while. And if you'd like to inquire about the show or feature on the show, email the team, thedayafter@thenewblack.com. We'll see you guys tomorrow. It's Friday.
Oh, can I say one thing, please?
Of course you can.
Just wanted to say, guys, remember, tomorrow we're going to be talking about some of the best moments on TDA
Yes, we
in the
will.
past year. So please, like some of you have done already in the community, but call up as well. Remind us. You know what I'm saying? So far, Esther seems to be in all of them.
Yeah, she's the MVP.
I seem
Most
to
definitely.
Be in a lot of categories these days.
But yeah,
Enemies
man.
are shaking. You can never get rid of me, bitch. But
Yeah, definitely. Write in the comments and call up tomorrow, man. Should be a good one. Everyone will be
it's
in.
going to be lit. And we're going to do our moments as well, isn't it?
Yes.
So messy. So we're not going to show up tomorrow. All right. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Peace.